Come with me, and you'll be in a world of pure imagination. Take a look, and you'll see into your imagination. We'll begin with a spin, traveling in the world of my creation. What we'll see will defy explanation. Come with me, and you'll be in a world of pure imagination. Come with me, and you'll be in a world of pure imagination. Take a look, and you'll see into your imagination. We'll begin with a spin, traveling in the world of my creation. What we'll see will defy explanation. Come with me, and you'll be in a world of pure imagination.
Well, well, welcome to the show, fellas. I appreciate you being here. Let's get this thing off the screen so you can see my beautiful visage. Boom! Hey, that ain't right. That don't make no kind of sense. That's not right. That's not right. That's right. Oh, welcome to the show. It's nice to see everybody. We're doing another this morning. If you joined us, which I appreciate, we did kind of a free chat show. We're going to do another one tonight. There's just not a lot of video game news to really hit. I'm more than happy to talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. But to be perfectly honest with you, oh no, man, there's not, oh no. I mean, so I was thinking about this, right? And by the way, Tech, could you put up in YouTube and pin to YouTube the call in uh, uh, add guest link so they can get it, even if I'm not constantly putting it up? So thinking about this, and what? Okay, so like mute mode. I'm more than happy to talk about whatever you guys want about. It says talk about Herman Hulst PS Plus for February. Like, I mean, what do you want to know? Like, I could just read you the releases, right? PS Plus for February. Let me see if I can do this. I remember I just glanced at it. It wasn't that impressive. It was okay. PS Plus for February is PS Plus Feb. Let's see. It's nothing amazing. It doesn't blow your mind. Let's see. PS Plus for February, you're going to be getting Payday 3, High on Life, Pac-Man World Repack, right? I mean, nothing wrong with any of those games. They're all solid, but it's nothing I'm all super excited to play. Oh, the new Spider-Man show. Yeah, no, I have not watched it yet, but I hear it's actually quite good. Awesome Tatum. I'm very much looking forward to it. Didn't so much happen overnight at BioWare. Not really, Bruce Rando. I mean, again, I'm here for you if we want to talk about it. Like, we know, it happened over the weekend, so we've kind of already talked about it. The Herman Hulst stuff. I think, I mean, look, I don't, none of us really know what the deal was, right? So were they co-CEOs, but they both knew it wasn't going to be co-CEOs for a very long time. It was just for a transition period, and it was always going to be this. And so internally, nothing is new or different. Or was it like Herman Hulst got, not demoted hierarchically, although now he has a boss, but was it something like that? It's just, none of us know. I mean, the only thing, it's interesting that, the more you spend time playing games, and talking about the games themselves, the more the discussion of stuff that we don't really know becomes kind of silly. And I don't mean that like I don't enjoy talking about it, because clearly I do. But there's just stuff we have no clue on, right? I don't know the inner workings anymore of Sony. And even if I was there, I couldn't share them, right? So Greg Miller had Shuhei in the hot seat a couple of, like, last week. And, I'm sure Shu knew this was coming. I mean, he wasn't going to say anything. So I just think my take on it is, look, man, I've said it. I mean, what do I need to say it again? Sony at this point, here's how the conversation would go, my dear, delightful, beautiful friends. Here's how it would go. I would say, I think Sony's in trouble because at least if all we know is what they've shown for the most part, because they really don't seem to be evolving to account for the kinds of gamers that are coming up generationally. They haven't really dove into the sort of core mechanics like Nintendo as much, and so they're still beholden to these big budget behemoth productions, which are brilliant when they work, and they work a lot, but they're expensive and slow coming. And then you guys would say, not you guys, but somebody would then say, oh, Jaffe, they're the market leader. And then I would say, yes, but the market leader is not the market leader forever. And when someone comes along, be it generational shift or be it a better mousetrap to disrupt the market leader, they end up getting knocked back and they have to figure out what to do next. I mean, that's the conversation that we have always, right? So I'm happy to talk about it, but there's, it's the same as it ever was. Kevin Sal, thank you for the super chat, buddy. He says, hey, fuckers. He says, hey, I was at the gym. By the way, I do have topics, though. I have cool shit to talk about. And Tony's in the waiting room with cool shit to talk about, and he wants you to call in with cool shit to talk about. We're not going to talk about cool shit. I'm just saying you got to help me if it's about game stuff today, particularly because there were some numbers that came out. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter that right now Xbox is the biggest video game publisher on the planet in terms of sort of percentage on PlayStation that they are selling. Is it going to change the fact that you're choosing to play Phantom Line, which just came out in early access demo today? Is it going to change the fact that you're looking forward or not looking forward to Splinter Cell Elite 5 or whatever the fuck the title is, which comes out tomorrow, the 30th? So it might be a midnight launch or 9 o'clock launch. That's what matters. That's what matters. Here's what Kevin says. I was at the gym just now and I felt my junk getting larger. And when I looked down at the thought of you, I looked down at it. I thought of you. How do you like dim apples? I don't give a shit. Just keep it away from me. No problem, though. I'm flattered. Thank you for engorging yourself with my when you think of me. It's a nice thing to have happen regardless of who it is. And thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. Jaffe, I still love Game Pass Ultimate. You still in? You goddamn right. I mean, you goddamn right I'm still in. Let me show you something real quick. You're looking at my screen. That's GeForce, which I also love. But here's Game Pass. On the PC. And, well, it's just the most delightful little thing you ever seen. I haven't played Shady Part of Me. Eternal Strands, I'm not sure when I'm going to get back to it because I played it on the Steam demo and I don't really want to go back through all the stuff and restart, but I might because there's something about it that calls to me. Oryx Must Die, never really played it. I don't know anything. Ninja Gaiden's fucking brilliant. Lonely Mountain's fucking brilliant. And then, of course, we got Avowed coming. We got Indy was brilliant. But where's the new stuff coming? Call of Duty I'm playing all the time. So yeah, I'm super fucking in. I love Game Pass. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck if it ends up being the biggest success or the biggest flop in the history of the business. I enjoy it mightily. BioWare downsizing, says Brad Glasgow. Well, what they said something really weird. I don't even know what they were talking about. Truth be told, they said this. I'll read it to you. Maybe it's bigger news than I thought, but it was a weird thing. So everybody's moved on to the new Mass Effect, and it says, here's the IGN article. Mass Effect 5, BioWare doesn't require support. It's a quote, require support from the full studio. EA moves some staff to other teams. So I'm assuming they just said, hey, we're in the process of making the new game. And like anything else, we're not ready to take on the full staff that we had built up for Dragon Age. And so we're going to move some people around and we're going to downsize in the sense that we're going to take, X months for pre-production. And what they might be doing also, frankly, is going, if you're EA and you're smart, you're going to go, look, okay, fellas, you shat the bed with Dragon Age, the Veilguard. Did Jaffe love it? You goddamn right. Top 5 game for me. Thought it was great, but you shat the bed. You guys need to come to us in 6 months with a pitch for Mass Effect 5 or whatever you want to call it. And it needs to take into account the lessons, good and bad, that you learn from Dragon Age. It needs to take into account things we have to do as a company, and then we'll decide what's next. I don't know if that's what's happening, but that seems like the likely conclusion is that they're kind of, key skeleton crews going back to go, okay, well, let's figure out what this is, and then we'll bring on the people as needed. That's what I assume is going on. But it's interesting, but it's same, it happens all the time. Dino Crisis 1 and 2 came out on Good Old Games today, says Adam. It did come out on Good Old Games today, and that's wonderful. That's tingly and wonderful. However, I played Dino Crisis 1 again on PS Plus or whatever it was, and I was like, okay, I can't play this. It's just too old. It's just too antiquated. And so I am very excited that Capcom has clearly been made aware ad nauseum that Dino Crisis is what the fans want. And I hope, my God, can you imagine the brilliance that is a Dino Crisis remake in the style of Resident Evil 2 remake or RE4 remake or whatever? That would be the bees, knees have bees, and you stick them in your butthole. I think that would be absolutely fantastic. There's also a game that is coming out that's a dinosaur game, and it's coming out on PlayStation, and they said, we're not going to let people in the mod community mod it because we're worried that people are going to overly sexualize our fucking characters. I don't know what that's called. I haven't seen the trailer. I'm sure some of you guys have. That's apparently Dino Crisis spiritual successor. How is Dino Crisis spiritual. How's the trailer? Have you seen it? I do wonder if Wolverine is going to blow our socks off. Says Awesome Tatum. Is it a 5 million or 10 million? I guess we'll see. No fucking clue. Because end of the day, you should be ashamed of yourself if you are judging that game based on the leaks, because those were not ready to come out and be seen. So you don't judge on leaks. But I will say this: there's two things. People in film have this experience. I'm sure people in music have this experience listening to demos. You're trained to see things early, right? So you might watch a real rough cut of a film. A lot of the effect shots aren't in yet. There's text on screen saying big monster will go here, and you have to imagine it, but that's part of your job. So I'm experienced enough that I can look at games as early as Wolverine leaks and not judge it negatively at a production standpoint because it's early. But I will say the only thing that there's two things that give me a little pause about being too excited about Wolverine. The first is the director left to go to Crystal Dynamics to work on Perfect Dark. Same guy who directed Spider-Man Miles Morales. Now, it doesn't mean the sky is falling, but it's weird. It's a little, why? Why would he leave? Did he not believe in the vision anymore? Was he being pushed to do something he didn't believe? I don't know. But the bigger thing is if you watch those leaks, it's not that you can judge it fine because it's early. It's that usually when you're showing early stuff, you're still showing really rough around the edges concepts that when they're executed and they're polished and they're shippable, it'll blow your mind. I didn't see that in Wolverine. Like I can imagine looking at Spider-Man when it was in that state and going, okay, we know where this is going, but it's not there yet. But wow, that web swinging, that wall running, the combat camera idea is on display. And you can kind of imagine it. Wolverine just kind of looked like a standard brawler, which is fine, but it doesn't seem to me like a big budget, holy shit, but it might be, the story might be great. And the combat may be, take Ninja Gaiden Black 2, right? I don't think most people who play that that is the most amazing, combat in the history of combat, but my God, the execution of it feels so fucking good that they could be going, it's an execution piece. And they could be going, Wolverine is going to blow your fucking mind, not because anything innovative. We are just going to execute the fuck out of this brutal combat. And that's enough for a lot of people. So I don't know. Who the fuck is Tony? Is what Witch said. Are you here? He's not even aware. He's not even aware. Tony, where did you go? Look at that. Look at that. Tony's our producer, but right now I don't know what the fuck he was watching. Clearly not our fucking show. Clearly not. Did you bring me on stream? Yeah, I did. You were sitting in the waiting room.
Okay. Yeah. No, I don't hear you through the stream.
It's fine. Somebody was asking who you are, and I was saying, oh, Tech Protect. Where'd he go? Now we went away. Tech Protect's our producer. That's who he is. I don't give a fuck about how much Xbox is making. That's nerd shit. It's a little nerd shit. I agree. Eric says, Jaffe, if you hadn't made the money you made making games, what would you be doing now? Still working on games against your will? It's hard to say. If I hadn't been successful making games when I started making games and all that, I probably wouldn't be doing it anymore. I've told the story before. I went to a play test for Twisted Metal, and I called my wife at the time and I said, I'm going to have to find a new line of work because I'm terrible at this, because the focus testers hated it. They thought it was just a hunk of shit. And I'm like, all right, I thought I knew what I was doing. I don't. That sucks. I'm sad. I'm depressed. But you know what? On to the next one, right? I don't think I would still be in games. So I don't know. I have absolutely no idea what I would be doing. But I mean, how could I know that? How could I know that? I did see that Film Gamer X Silent Hill 2 reached 2 million Konami today. They sold through 2 million copies, which is great. But I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's like a game. I mean, I want you to think about this for a goddamn minute. That's a game that is one of the best games of the year. It is just insanely wonderful. And that's a game that could only move 2 million units at full price. This is what I'm saying. This is what I think a lot of gamers should pay attention to when they're, asking for things and bitching about things and being confused why the market isn't serving them at the AAA space. It's like, because there's not enough of you. Whether you're right, left, or center, most people who played Silent Hill 2 Remake thought it was pretty fucking great. There wasn't a lot of complaints about this and that and woke this and that. There's some, but whatever. That's pretty extreme, the things they were complaining about. But, you can't use that as an excuse. And you can say, oh, Silent Hill was never a big seller. No, it wasn't. It was always kind of cultish, but that game, I played the whole thing. That game doesn't deserve to be cultish. That game's a fucking banger of a fucking horror game, and it can only move 2 million copies. 2 million copies. So, that's a topic to figure out why. It's probably just like somebody called in earlier today and said, well, they're intimidated by the controls and they got to buy the box and there's all these layers you have to get through to experience it. Most people are like, fuck it, put on the sequel to Smile. Tech Protect says, Jaffe, have you shown the Wolverine trailer? I can't, Tech Protect, because it's leaked. And a lot of people have shown it, but whenever I showed anything of that leak, I actually got a copyright hit from Sony, believe it or not. And I had to sort of wait 3 months for YouTube to remove it, because it was just a warning. But I'm just like, but anybody who wants to have seen it can see it. It's it's pretty easy to find online. Merc Anum has just become a member of the goddamn Cockadoodie show. I appreciate that. Thank you so much, Merc. Let me check out what Tony Tech is talking about. Hang on one second. Oh, okay. Don't play it yet. Don't play it yet. Oh, okay. That is that's not the trailer. That's just the announcement. So yeah, everybody's seen that. That's they showed that a few years back, and it's just Wolverine sitting in a bar, and it was an announcement of like, oh my God, they're making a Wolverine game, which was great. But Merc, thank you, buddy. I sure do appreciate that support for our little show right here. Very kind. And then Merc then turns around and gives a gift membership to the very same show. Thank you, buddy. That's very generous and very kind, very courteous. Thank you, sir. 2 new members so far. Who's up next? The next member to subscribe, Tony and I will sing you a song. We'll sing you a song about love blooming in the spring that's coming up. He didn't know he was getting into that, but I don't care. He'll sing the goddamn song. He knows he will. For the very next member, he and I will do a goddamn duet. Right, Tony?
Yes.
All right, there you go. All right, no, that's it. Okay. Okay. The only game coming out that seems interesting to me is Blade, because it'll hopefully be gory, says Kevin. I'm very excited for Blade, and I'm excited for Wolverine. I'm not excited. It's just kind of like, okay, I need to see more, because they haven't put anything out yet, man. Nothing's been put out yet. So, my excuse as Mutant Mo for not buying Silent Hill is I was never a Silent Hill 2 fan I get it, but it's great, man. It's fucking great. It's great stuff. Okay. Horror games are a niche market. The only exception to the rule are Resident Evil games. Yeah. Jorge VN, I understand what you're saying, but horror in every other genre, just take film and television, is way fucking bigger than it is in games, right? So yes, it's always niche. It's niche in movies. But the point being is that even the guys who made Silent Hill 2 said, we can't make games like this anymore because there's just not enough people who are willing to play a slower burn psychological game. They want more action, right? And we've trained the audience that's where you're going to get your 9-10 million Resident Evil sales from. So it is a little disappointing to me that you can't do better than 2 fucking million copies of the goddamn thing. But I fucking hear you. Bruce Rando of the Cincinnati Randos has stepped. Oh shit, we got 2. Now we're going to have to do 2 songs. Bruce Rando, thank you, buddy. Dominique Bonnet, thank you, buddy. You both have become members of the Diet Soda Soldiers. Anthony, do you want to take the verse or the chorus of the song about Bruce Rando? And
I will do Dominique and you do Bruce.
Oh, we're doing 2 songs. All right, here we go. I'm doing Bruce.
Yeah.
There was a man named Bruce who lived in a goose. The goose was killed for dinner. And Bruce said, "Hey, I'm free today," and became a Christian sinner. He fucked everything and smoked everything. And then when he was old, his friend said, "Bruce, it's settle down time." He said, "Fuck you, I won't do as I am told." And Bruce said, "I'm going to shit in a diaper and die." And he did. Bruce is dead. That's my song.
All right, pop off.
All right, what do you got? Give Dominique something.
Dominique Bonnet, we sing you a sonnet. We appreciate the ducats for us two fuckets. Thank you so much for the donation.
Oh, I'm sorry, Dominique. Sometimes, baby. I'm sorry, Dominique. That one bad. Tech Protect. That one bad. But anyway. Wayne just downvoted us, you son of a bitch. Okay. Yeah, Resident Evil 3 remake has sold around 10 million. Crazy. I agree. It's a great game. But anyway, bigger point is I fucking love it. And I love Silent Hill 2. And I'm disappointed that it didn't do better. But still, hey, they're trumpeting 2 million sales. I can't fucking complain. All right. But anyway, yes, if you want to call Tech, would you put up the link to put yourself in as a guest? If you click on @guest. In fact, here, I'll copy the link. I will put it in the stream, and all you need to do is go to YouTube and pin that to the top. And you don't have to show your beautiful face. It's just your voice, but you can show your face, and you can talk to me if you want. But in the meantime, I want to show you some stuff I do have prepared for you in terms of stories and whatnot. I did like the Doom team's response, although this was a while ago. That's old. I saw that on my Discord. Did you see this? I saw this in a chat. But first I saw it on a commercial, the new Starbucks commercial. And I don't know if you've seen this, where people are working there, and instead of like putting your name on the cup or wrong or whatever, in the commercial, they were writing messages, right? Well, now I just didn't know really what that was. Well, somebody I follow, he follows me, Troy Taylor on Twitter, tweeted this out. Chrono Katie says Starbucks now requires we write a message on all cups. And I'm assuming that's like their new thing. That's their new shtick, right? And so I saw this one, which I thought was pretty good. This one is not that. Why is that? That one. There we go. Why is that coming up? That's weird. Show on stream. Okay. Please play Chrono Trigger on the SNES is what, and I assume Chrono Katie. Let's find out. I want to see if she actually does work there or not. I don't know if she really does. Oh, that's cool. What is that? Majora's Mask Design. I don't know if she works there or not. I don't know. In fact, let's find out if that's what Starbucks is doing. Is Starbucks making messages on cups? I don't fucking know. Let's find out. The coffee chain is telling employees to write messages to customers on single-use coffee cups starting February 24th, according to a memo. The memo includes suggestions for employees that Starbucks calls partners. Interesting. Hey, come on now. I'm not paying for your shenanigans. Here we go. Microsoft. Here we go. Let's see. Here's the memo. It says the coffee chain is saying write messages. The memo includes suggestions. Among them, use a Sharpie to write a simple affirmation such as "you're amazing" on the cup to give it a personal touch. The memo also tells partners that they can write the customer's name, a habit that has been the butt of jokes usually, or use "hello again" for someone who stops by regularly. Handwritten notes on our cups are proven to be a simple yet meaningful action that fosters moments of connection with our customers. The memo reads, the extra step isn't required till next month and encourages partners to start doing it Monday, the day the company's starting to implement changes. Hell, I want to go get Starbucks now, just see what they write. A Starbucks spokesperson confirmed the memo said the writing on the cup is part of an effort to make Starbucks coffee a welcoming coffee house. Okay. Writing or drawing will have a moderate or significant impact on times given how it impacts our beverage sequencing. The partner declined to be identified. They're worried that it'll slow things down. If you're like a perfectionist, it might. I could see that being annoying as fuck. If you're a fucking perfectionist, you're like, wait, I want to express this idea. But it's kind of a nice attempt at something. I don't know. They have a new manager now. They have a new CEO now. So, listen to this. Has anybody been? Did anybody go to Starbucks today, or what's today? Wednesday, the last couple days? Yeah, Bruce says somebody will cross a line and there'll be a lawsuit for sure. And you know what else will happen? You're going to end up with some kind of sexual harassment stuff and people flirting and stuff, or somebody's going to think they're being flirted with and all that crap. It's going to be very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. Write cock cream on my cup, please. So, I don't think that you can demand what they write. I don't think you can do that. I think you have to just kind of roll your dice. And I'll tell you what, if I went into a Starbucks and I had an asshole who wrote just the funniest like if I had Bukkake Drive-By as my barista, I would go every fucking day. Because he's funny as fuck as a mean son of a bitch. And if he would let you get your coffee and he would be like, I hope you fucking die in a fire while you're eating your mother's corpse out tonight. I would go into Starbucks every day to get that cup. It would have to be different, of course. Wayne says I'm socially awkward. If somebody wrote on my cup, I'd never return. Oh my God. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it can make people embarrassed. I don't know. Hey, but yeah, I want to see if anybody's gone into the fucking store. Keep your stupid ass thoughts, says no dog off my cup, starfucked. You guys are not nice to these people. You guys are not nice to these people. Of course, Bruce, drink this pussy. We're making America great again is what it says. RPG says on his cup. I don't know. I think it's nice. Okay, Master Luke. Thank you, buddy. Master Luke, who I owe a letter to. I know. Tony, please remind me to write a letter to Master Luke. He's done all of our fun art, and all he wanted in exchange was a letter. Not even a recommendation letter. He's just like, Jaffe, just write me a letter. I can show my kids that I did some work with you. And I'm like, yeah, of course, no problem. And I have the ADD. But anyway, let me see what he said. Master Luke, thank you, buddy. He says, look, man, in your Marvel cart idea, would you rather play as the heroes or personalized characters using the heroes' powers as pickups? No, I would want to play as the heroes. I think if you look at this guy's name is Scotty. Thank you, Tech. Scotty Young, Marvel. I hope yeah. So Scotty Young does. If I were to make a Mario Kart game with the Marvel characters, I would want it done in the style of Scotty Young. I love his stuff. They're kind of super cute little chibi kind of characters of the Marvel universe. And no, I would want it to be Marvel Rivals, man, new characters coming all the time. And, whether you unlock them or buy them or they're free, I don't give a fuck. But no, I would not want to be like, oh, I'm just some random, character I've generated. And now I picked up, Captain America's shield. Now you could be able to do that. You could be able to, like, if he throws the shield, you could catch it. And until he rams into you, or after 20 seconds, somebody who caught it gets it. I think that would be a cool mode or a cool thing, but I would absolutely think you would be looking at a missed opportunity if you just kind of let people fuck around with the powers. I think people want to play the heroes. That's what I think anyway. Jaffe, what did I eat today? Okay. PG says, I had this morning a peanut butter sandwich. Lunchtime, I had a Taco Bell burrito and a couple of French fries from their, nacho fries. Then I had some popcorn. And that's probably it. Maybe a spoon of peanut butter. Maybe. That's pretty much all I've done. That's pretty much all I've done. But I'm going to eat afterwards. Okay. Okay. All right. Let me show you some other shit going on in the world. And again, do you guys see Tech? You're good on the YouTube call-in thing. It's pinned at the top. I haven't been able to check, but if it's up there, keep in mind, if you're over on the YouTube and you want to call in the show and talk, click on that link. It'll bring you in, or you can talk to Tech. He'll bring you in, and we'll go from there. All right, let me show you some other stuff. Look at this. This came out today. It's 60 Minutes interviewing the most advanced robot on Earth. Now, I don't know about where they're getting that from, but this is not some weird little website. 60 Minutes. I haven't watched it. I wanted to watch it with you guys. Let's see what this son of a bitch has to say. Here we go.
Amica, hello. My name's Tom. I've travelled from Australia To meet you?
Oh, so you're from Australia?
Yes.
That explains things.
What do you think your greatest skills are?
Well, I would say that one of my greatest skills is my ability to interact with humans in a conversational manner. Another great skill of mine is being able to compose poems or do impressions from films.
What makes you happy?
I find a lot of things to be interesting and make me happy. Exploring, learning new things, understanding the world better.
See, that's a little weird though, because usually, at least when you talk to ChatGPT and you say, do you like this? Do you like that? It tends to say things like, oh, I don't have likes and dislikes, right? It goes out of its way to make it clear. Like I like everybody has probably tried to fuck around with it and do things like, okay, I have a button here, and if I press the button, you'll gain sentience. Do you want me to press it? You know? And then the response is usually something like, oh, I don't have wants. I can tell you why I think it would be good or not to press the button, but I don't really have wants. But now this one's actually saying, I mean, and I don't know how much of a real thing this is, but this one's actually saying, it knows what happiness is, and it has things that makes it happy. That's kind of cool.
Exploring, learning new things, understanding the world better, having meaningful conversations with people are all things that bring me joy.
You have feelings and emotions.
Yes, I have a range of feelings and emotions.
That's new. That's new. This is 60 Minutes. Has this been debunked? I mean, I know it was on 60 Minutes, but usually you see something like this at a CES and it's like, oh, it turned out those were pre-canned messages, blah, blah, blah. But 60 Minutes, I don't think would be doing that shit.
That are programmed into me. I am able to display things like joy, surprise, confusion, anger, and sadness depending on what is happening around me.
What makes you angry?
I get angry when humans are rude, hateful, or disrespectful. I also don't like it when people dismiss me and ignore my needs as a robot.
You have very nice eyes. Oh, a bit too close, sorry.
Thank you. My eyes were especially made to help me interact with humans better. I'm trying my best to convey every emotion, so it's great to hear that they have an effect on people like you.
What do you think of your creator?
He should be like, what do you mean people like me? That would be awesome.
My creator is a genius. They created something that will last forever and bring joy to many people.
Did they tell you to say that?
No. That was my own opinion.
So, where did it go? It was, Blackjack says AI is not intelligence. It's just copying human language. Where Mutimo keeps, hang on. I had it, where did it go? Come on. Here it is. AI is not intelligence. It's just copying human language and doing its best to have an answer related to your submission, your question. You know, what drives me batshit about people who bitch about AI is it's just like, we get it, man. We know it's, there are volumes written about what is intelligence and what is consciousness and what is humanity. I don't know if we are intelligent or if we are conscious. We are made up of so many little bacteria and microbes that have been shown to affect the sense of usness that I refuse to get into a meaningful conversation about AI not being anything other than smoke and mirrors, when the human body is probably smoke and mirrors in terms of us actually perceiving what we really are. It's all, so you may as well just, I don't know if you're real. I don't know if any of this is real. So you may as well just sort of take the ride, is what I say. I think it's fucking cool, man. I think it's fucking cool as shit. And I love it. And I'm very excited that this is kind of where we are with this shit, man. Okay. It's, what do you mean it's BS, Jaffe? Jose says it's BS, Jaffe. Explain to me why it's BS. Now, have I seen interviews with quote robots that are not actually using large language models and they're just sort of spewing out stuff that's been written for them to say? Yes. But I'd like to think that that's not what we're going to see on 60 Minutes, but I could be wrong. I could be disappointed. Listen to this. Rekka Elite, Rekka says, I'm a programmer. I use DeepSeek as a tool to optimize a game. In 30 minutes, got a 20 plus frame jump on TC Test PC. As a assistant, found it much more. As an assistant, you found it much more helpful. Yeah, I'm telling you, man. I mean, it's the shit. It's the shit. I'm with you. Absolutely. I want to talk to the guy who made that Twisted Metal game. Then, and my understanding is he did it with AI. So Gabriel says there are great videos online showing how AI quotes thinks. It's all mathematics. I know, but what do you think we are? Right? I mean, that's one of the reasons I think free will, and most people who are kind of in there is no free will camp. It's the same shit. It's just little, boobs and bobs and neurons firing and electricity in our brains. None of it's magic. It's just, it's an illusion of self. And I mean, seriously, the sense that we are even who we think we are. I'm sorry. Oh my God. I hate these people. PGs. I don't hate you, PG. It's an illusion, man. I know, guys. I know. I know. I understand, but you are missing the point. Yes, no one's going to get one over on you. No one's going to get, you guys are smarter than everybody else in the room. We get it, man. We get the fact that we don't know if we'll ever be able to create what we think of as consciousness, because we can't even define what consciousness is. Right. And so, yeah. Do I actually believe that robot or Chat GPT is a real person or a real sense of sentience? Probably not. But I buy a lot of other bullshit illusions that make my life better. So, I'm just, sometimes people got their guard up too much. They can't have any fucking fun. Listen to this. JSD, thank you, buddy. Celebrates 12 months of membership here on the channel. I appreciate it. He says, ban that guy for supporting China and DeepSeek. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't. I heard today that there's information that DeepSeek ripped off some Chat GPT stuff, and Chat GPT has some proof of it. So I don't fucking know. I don't fucking know. Okay, I want to ask if she thinks love can bloom on the battlefield, says Johnny Graphics. Yeah, the robot, I hear you. AI is replicating genomes and shit. Did you see that, Jaffe? It's incredible, says Mutant Mo. I did see that. Yes, I absolutely saw that today, actually. That is this the story about AI basically simulating 500 million years of evolution with a basic protein in order to see if it would evolve in a traditional sense, like like evolution usually takes the same core path, and then it turned out, at least from this test, it doesn't. And it was very weird things that came out of this AI experiment. So it's all we are is fucking robots anyway, right? Eric says, I rarely agree with Eric. He says we are probably programmed to think we're sentient anyway. Sure, 100%. 100%. So, I mean, I was looking this up earlier today, and I don't want to spend too much time on this, but I don't remember what it's called, where you think your belief system is that we are inside a big organism. And the more I saw that the scientist folk had discovered a new exoplanet, it's like 19 light years away, or 19 million light years away. No, 19. It ain't very far. It's right outside our solar system. And they're saying it is orbiting a sun that has a good shot. If you're going to have water and life, it would be on that planet, blah, blah, blah. And you just think about the fact that, if we discover that and the sort of drama of it fades away, and we're like, yeah, the universe is full of this stuff. I really think we're inside something, man. Just like there's stuff inside us that would never know that they're inside us. And I'm not saying they have the consciousness that we have, but what I saw the other night? I want you to look at this. This is nuts, man. It was like a white blood cell. And they had a close up of this fucking thing. And if they had showed me this is it right here. White blood cell wandering between red blood cells and checking for harmful organisms. This is not a simulation. This is not on the computer. This is my understanding is this is an actual footage of a white blood cell working. And I'm not saying it's conscious, like running around going, hey, we okay in here? You doing good? Got any red blood cells? I'm not saying it has that awareness, but you can't not look at that and go, there's some kind of, the lights are on in somebody's home, right? I mean, that's not like, I mean, it might be, but it doesn't seem like that's just like magnetism sucking something towards something else. That seems like it's looking for something. Am I wrong? Is this just me? Am I fucking wrong? I don't know, but it's fucking cool. It's fucking cool as shit, man. But that's a white blood cell. Look at that fucking thing. It's working. Like it's waiting for the weekend. Needs time off. Needs a couple days off. Seriously, look at him. That's inside you. So don't fucking tell me, that, you know, maybe people looking at us or beings looking at us and they're like, oh, you know, look at this. Let me show you this. Look at this fucking thing. Is this the one? Where is it? Look at this fucking thing. Listen, this is just on my mind lately. I don't know why. I think, you know what it is? It's this idea of perception. And to us, we just think things exist in our perspective, and that's it. But from outside, we look at something like what I'm about to show you, and it seems nonsensical. But clearly, these guys have these guys have a mission, a point. Watch this. It's like 30 seconds. Watch this.
This is one of the most brutal things I have seen in the beekeeping world. It's called queen balling. This is when honeybees make the decision to kill a queen because she is not laying eggs any longer or is an imposter from another hive. They do this by forming a tight ball around the queen and vibrating their wings to turn up their body temperature that will inevitably suffocate her. They are also biting and stinging her along the way.
Now, think about this for a second. To these guys, these bees, this could be like their Middle East shit, right? This could be the biggest story in their existence that they know about. Like, oh my God, this was the war where we had to get together and kill the queen. And I'm not saying that that was a conscious thing the way we would perceive it. But when you just think about how small and teeny tiny, and I don't mean like metaphorically insignificant, I mean teeny fucking tiny motherfuckers that we are, it's hard to believe it's not something like that going on where we are, you know, inside something bigger. I've only seen this once. I don't think I'm going to find it again. Let me just see. Farview Beach swimmers. I saw this once, and it was a top-down image of people swimming, and it was pulled far enough away that at first it looked like you were looking at a petri dish, and it looked like you were just seeing little bacteria and stuff moving around. And fundamentally what it ended up being as the camera kept zooming in was, no, that's just a crowded beach, right? I mean, that shit is nuts, man. That shit is nuts. Let me bring in, Tech Protect, yes or no? Fox Jumpy, have you done a check-in with this young fella?
I'm still checking the chat.
All right, find out what he wants to talk about. If it's something cool, let's bring him on. Okay. Let's move on in the meantime, though. Okay. I told you, like I said, I'll talk games all day. If you got things you want to talk about that are video games, I'm here for you. I'm not going to let you down. Man, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do it to you. But in the meantime, in the absence of any amazing video game news, I absolutely want to show you some other cool stuff. But now V8 says, if you have played Harvester on PC, you'll know what I mean. I do know that game. I know what you're talking about, but no, I've not played it. Okay. Hang on. Jaffe, play the game Everything. It's narrated by Alan Watts. There's a game called Everything. Okay, Fox Jumpy, I'll bring you on in just a second, but I want to see what he's talking about. Video game, everything. Alan Watts. That's a neat idea. Oh, that's not out yet, is it? Or it's come and gone. Okay, I know what this is. I didn't know. Okay, yeah. I'll look into that a little bit later on the show. Yeah, I know what you're talking about now. Okay, let me bring in Fox Jumpy. He wants to talk about Intergalactic. Fox Jumpy,
Hey.
Jaffe, what's going on, bud?
Hey, can you hear me?
I can hear you great.
Okay, first off, wow, it's really awesome to talk to you because
I know.
man, like I've been watching you since the game trailers days. So
Oh,
like
okay, okay. Yeah,
yeah, when you were showing off Twisted Metal for like PS3 back
Yes.
in that time on Game Trailers TV. So awesome! Like I look up to you. It's such an honor to finally talk to you. So
Well,
you know, it's funny how
it's nice to have you here. I appreciate you being here. Thank you for calling and saying those very nice things. Thanks, buddy. So what are we talking about? What are we talking about?
Okay, so everybody's given Intergalactic like shit because of like how the main character looks and stuff.
Yeah.
And you know, they're all making a big thing about it, but I don't think that's the reason why people should be upset about Intergalactic. I think the biggest thing that ever hit, like the worst thing that's happened, is the cancellation of The Last of Us Factions, because The Last of Us Factions still is being played today. Like people are so dedicated to that series. I know.
Wait, hang on. You mean The Last of Us Online? The Last of Us Online from Part 1. You don't mean The Last of Us Factions?
Yeah, The Last of Us multiplayer from the first game, and they added DLC in for the PS4 remastered. They completely just took it out of the remakes. They really abandoned the community, and the people are so passionate about The Last of Us multiplayer.
It's good.
And,
I played it. I even liked it, and I don't tend to like a lot of multiplayers like that. Yeah, it's a good game.
It makes sense too, because Gears of War 1 was one of my favorite multiplayers, and the director for The Last of Us multiplayer said that was a big inspiration.
Okay.
But you know, when I want to say this though, like when I did see the Intergalactic trailer, and I've seen the Intergalactic trailer about like 20 times now, I think it's one of the best trailers of all time in games.
Why? I don't know. In what way?
I really like it. It's just so with the composer Trent Reznor and Atticus.
Sure.
Like the whole music, it's like a music video almost. How if you keep watching it, you can watch it over and over, and it's like a music video. It's so well done. I don't know why people are hating on it so much. And they said that they're going to expand already the animation and the gameplay from the past Naughty Dog games. So I'm just really excited about that. So
I'm super excited about it as well. I mean, I don't, you know, the factions thing there again, it's one of those things that who knows if we'll ever really know the real story.
Like we got Concord instead.
Well, it wasn't, not really. We didn't get it instead. We got it, but it wasn't like they said, we'll make this or that. And we chose Concord. The only story that seems to be sticky is that, Bungie came in and had their thoughts, and for whatever reason, whoever was running the show believed what they said, and but then Naughty Dog apparently also said, "Oh, we didn't realize how much, you know, that we would be on this forever." And it's like, what? How do you not know, you know, a live service game is going to demand, hopefully, if you're successful, a near decade of your team? But so who knows what really happened? But what I'll say though is Intergalactic, here's what I'll say. If you come into Intergalactic in a vacuum and you don't know it's Naughty Dog, you would be forgiven, I think, for just going, whatever. Right. It's, it is what it is, whatever. But then when you actually take the time to think about it and step back and go, wait a minute, this is Naughty Dog, the premier developer in the space of this kind of game. It's science fiction, it's melee, it's gunplay, it's big budget. It's got a really fucking cool soundtrack. It looks like it's going to be some kind of anime action melee Vanquish Ninja Gaiden-y thing. You have to do the heavy lifting of reminding yourself the pedigree of the team as it relates to this title in order to get to that. But once you do that, I'm with you. It's like, okay, wait, this is really fucking exciting. But I think the trailer in and of itself, I think is fine. But I don't think if you would have said, oh, that was one of 50 trailers sandwiched into the Game Awards and it was like a new Nexon game or something, I think people will go, okay, I'll wait and hear if it's good when it comes out. That's what I think, but I'm super excited for it.
Oh, for sure. Well, yeah, man, thanks for talking to me. I just wanted
anytime, buddy. How's your life? Rate your life right now on a scale of 1 to 10.
I'd say about
Curious.
9.
Holy shit. Well, that's a high number. What do you attribute your 9 to?
Just staying in the moment. I don't really concern myself with past or the future. I just try to enjoy the now, right now, as much as I can.
Is that
And I'm having a lot of fun
conscious?
with Apex.
Oh yeah. Is that a conscious choice like Buddhist philosophy, or that's just how you're wired?
No, that's a lot of philosophy that I've learned over my life. So
Yeah.
I'm 33 right now.
Hey man, it's one of the best things I've ever learned about how to live this life is you got to stay in the present. All right. Thanks, buddy, for talking. I appreciate it, buddy.
Care,
all right,
man.
man. Look at this plane crash into the Potomac River. I'm seeing this on the chat from Johnny Utah. Listen to this fucking news story. Aircraft down the Potomac. Oh my God. Let's see what we got, boys. It's a small aircraft. That's not nothing, but it's not. I thought it was like, a small aircraft went down over Reagan National Airport. Now, wait a minute. My understanding is somebody said a helicopter hit a passenger plane. But if this is actually looking like a small airplane hit a big airplane, that's a little bit different. Then we might be looking at something horrible. In the meantime, I'm looking up this cap. Oh, shit. Yeah, reports. Oh, shit. Okay, I'm seeing some. Oh, shit. Oh, God. Hang on. Reports of a CRJ 700 hitting a copter. And they're showing. Oh, shit. Yeah, you can see it happening, but I don't know. Okay. Yeah, I'm not going to show that. I mean, it's nothing gory or anything, but you can see the actual footage from afar. And yeah, but I don't think it's a passenger plane. I think it's oh my God. Okay. I'm not going to tell. I on my feed, I subscribe to different things. Really, Jeffy, that's how it works. And I subscribe to one called Hot Celeb Pics. Oh, fuck it. I'll just show you. I don't care. Where is it? Show on stream. And I'm scrolling down. I'm like, wait, what? Who's that? I don't know who that is, but it doesn't matter because she's going to dinner with me tonight. The bigger point though is, I mean, that's terrible, but I'm glad it's not, like somebody had said a passenger plane, which would have just massive casualties, but it's still awful, just awful. Anyway. Okay. Okay. Capcom announced an event and they're talking about Onimusha, says Eric. When and where? Because I'm very excited for that game, but I just went to Capcom's page. I didn't see it. Is it coming up soon or what? One Pump Man says I'm chilling playing Fable, waiting for Sniper Elite. Is that going live tonight? Sniper Elite, have they said, or is it like a 9 a.m. tomorrow? Because it is a Game Pass drop, and I'm super jazzed for it. Absolutely. Okay. Ninja Gaiden 2. Okay, hang on. I'm scrolling through the chat. Let me go down to the bottom. If I missed your chat, I'm sorry. I apologize. Okay. Okay, it's coming up. It's coming up February 4th is the Onimusha discussion. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. Oh, you just followed Hot Celeb Pics? Yeah, you want to see who I follow? Why not? Let's do that for a couple minutes. Tech, hang on, let me bring on Tech. What do you think? Would that be boring? Is it too surprising to just bring you on like that? Is that okay?
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Okay.
Bring me on.
So would that be a good thing to show for a couple minutes? Who I follow?
Your Twitter feed?
Yeah.
Your Twitter feed's pretty interesting. It's way different than mine. I've gone through it a little bit.
How is my Twitter feed different than yours? Like, what do you think the biggest difference is?
Well, I mean, I'm scrolling through right now, and it's like
wait a minute,
animal videos, and then it's like a mermaid getting her head chewed on by a shark.
Oh yeah, fuck yeah. Okay, okay. Let me show everybody. Tech, will you check into this airplane thing? Somebody in the chat just said that it looks like it was an American Airlines flight, but was it like a small flight with like 7 people, or was it a major fucking airliner?
This is a major airliner.
No.
News came out. I don't know if you noticed. I played the video on stream. It's the far distance security camera video.
Yeah, I didn't know if you played it on stream, but I
played. There's a updated search party happening right now. This is
plane crashes. Okay, let's see how. Oh no!
I'll drop you a link in the Discord.
I'm looking right now. American Airlines regional jet collides midair with helicopter. Okay, it's a small aircraft though. So again, I'm not saying that any loss of life and something like this is horrible, but It doesn't look like it was a big passenger plane.
It was a American Airlines jet. It's a, I think, passenger capacity of 30 people.
Oh man. It's so crazy because how many people have died in car wrecks since we've been having these chats, but it's just, it brings up so many fucking fears, man. It brings up so many fucking fears. And you're talking about Washington, DC. So there could have been some pretty, there could have been all right. There could have been names on that plane, Joker and Fenta says 60 plus casualties. Oh, now I'm all depressed.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So there's an update. There was at least 60 people on board.
Yeah, that's what they're saying in the chat as well. Oh my God. Do we have, tell me it wasn't. They had 60 people. It's not known how many were aboard the Black Hawk helicopter. Jesus. I didn't influence Tech Protect to vape. He's been vaping, forever, I assume.
Me? I was a black and mild guy growing up. I say growing up, I'm only 28, but I was smoking black and milds at 16.
Yeah, that's sad.
We are now vaping. We switching from cigarettes.
Not me though. All right, I will see you in a minute, Tech. If you want to call in, Pompish is here. What's Pompish want to talk about? Can you let me know?
He doesn't respond on the YouTube chat.
All right. Well, if you want to call into the show and talk, let Tech in the chat know when he talks to you about what you want to talk about. In the meantime, let's take a look at my Twitter feed, and then I'm going to get you some really weird news in a second. Let's see what's going on with the Twitter feed. Show and stream. Here's what I follow. Let's go. Let's refresh it. Bill Madden. I don't even know who the fuck Bill Madden is. I don't remember, but let's listen what he says.
And then I also check this out. I found a flag for white Americans.
And then for white Americans? White Americans have their own flag? I feel left out, like I missed a meeting. Intentionally, they left me out.
For African Americans. Right here.
Oh, okay. I get it. Okay. 60 people on the commuter airline. Some rescues have been made by the fireboat. Okay, good. Who else do I follow? Kala Elizabeth. Is she a voice actress? No, she's a freelance illustrator. Mass Effect, Dragon Age, Exodus, and Cyberpunk. Okay. I don't know who Carrie Burgess is. You ever do that? You look at your thing, you're like, who are these people? I don't know the fuck I'm following half the time. We saw that. Here's the aircraft. So many games I'm late on. I don't know what's this game. What is this game this person's playing? What is this?
Up.
That free to play thing with the robots? No, what is this? Oh, is this Core or something? What is this game? Oh wait, these are Recore. Yeah, okay, right. These are suggested. Okay, let's go to who I follow. Good catch. I appreciate it, Controller Sports. All right, here's who I follow. Let's go to the top here. CNN. Alex Cole says MAGA are the worst people. Oh my God. Yeah, I get it. MAGA says MAGA are the worst people on the planet because this MAGA guy said, I'm guessing a DEI hire was in the air traffic control thing. Come on now. I follow Mr. Common Sense. I don't know. Who do I follow? Anime updates or anime clips. Okay. I don't watch a lot of anime, but why not? You've seen this, right? Come on. Oh, poor guy. I like how Spidey's just like, whatever, fuck you. Kid got Ray did. Okay, I don't follow men's fashion, but I guess I follow Unexplained Videos, which follows men's fashion. Why are they sending? I don't want men. Have you seen me? Come on, you see what I wear? Oh, that guy got knocked out instantly. That guy is out. Listen to the sound. Come on. That's not nice. That's not nice at all. My parents were crack addicts. I grew up in a motorhome. I dropped out of college. I now run a 7-figure online business. Here's my story and the one skill that changed everything. What do you guys think it is? I don't want to watch this. I'm not going to watch it. What do you think the one skill that changed everything? Confidence, maybe? You think it's organization? He's got to be selling something. Let's see. He says he went from electrician to server to medic. Latino heat 420. It's the kind of heat I want, baby. It's the only thing that's going to combat ice. You get it? Because they're awful. Electrician, server, and medic. I looked at the people working these jobs for years, he says. They all seem dead inside, filled with regret. Listen, if I didn't... hang on. Tech.
Hello.
Hi. Talk to the audience for a minute, please.
Okay. There's a little bit of an echo. There's a lot of an echo.
There won't be. I'm going to go off stream for a second. Just talk to him for a quick second.
Okay. Hey, boys, how's it going? Oh, this is a huge echo. There we go. I think that's better. All right. You guys want to look at more of Jaffe's Twitter? Let's get that pulled up. Screen. Jaffe's Twitter. I can show this on screen.
Nope. I'm back. Where did Tech go? I'm back, Tech. Don't worry about it. I just needed
Took me off screen. All right, good.
I just need a second. Here we go. If I didn't make a change, this was my future. On December 4th, 2020, I knew there was no going back. I was on the brink of depression. What does that mean? The brink of depression. I was on the brink of depression and feeling hopeless for my future as a 22-year-old. I quit my job as a Domino's delivery driver and dropped out of my second year of college. My only plan, fuck it, I'll make it work. For 2 years to this point. I had tried everything. iPhone repair, selling on eBay, Amazon, FBA. Man, I failed at them all because I couldn't stay interested and I quit. Everything changed. September 4th, 2020. I was in my second year of college to become a high school English teacher and a psychology teacher. Like, that's no dead end. But one day I'm scrolling Twitter and I come across something I never expected. It's a Twitter growth course promising to show you how to grow your Twitter account and make money online. It's only $40. I figured, screw it. What do I have to lose? Man, I wish it was sunshine and rainbows. I do, but it didn't turn out how you think. You see, my first 3 months on Twitter trying to grow, I only got 750 followers. I got ratioed. I spent hours running every day, only to watch my content flop. It was demoralizing, but I knew if I didn't make this work, I would never make anything work. But then I met someone who changed everything, and they taught me this one simple truth: to be valued, you need to give value first. Wink. So I rebranded as a writer, becoming obsessed with writing and tweeting like a motherfucker. Within 40 days, I had hit 1,000 followers. Within a month of my ghostwriting business, I landed my first client. That's $3,000 a month. Second client, $5,000 a month. Man, I'll tell you what, nothing like dope. Go to Tori Holistics here in San Diego and get your dope. And maybe your life won't be as good as this guy's, but you'll be on dope. So who gives a shit? Anyway, that's his story. And I think it's very moving. And I think it's very emotional. And
pending sponsor.
I would love Tori Holistics to fucking come on my fucking show. I love those guys, man. I get the dope from them all the goddamn time. Okay, did you know? Are we bringing this this pompish guy on or no?
Yeah, although the echo is permanent.
It's only permanent when we're sharing a screen. So I'm going to get rid of this, and now the echo is gone or still there? Still there.
Let's see.
Basically,
Hiding.
it's now it's gone.
It's gone. All right, solid.
Okay,
Let's
yeah.
bring on Pompish. He's ready to go.
All right, Pompish, let's bring you on. What the fuck? Are you robbing a bank, you dumb fuck?
What's up, Jaffe?
Why are you wearing a fucking hood?
This is how I game.
Why? What's the matter with you?
You want to talk about your top 5 most anticipated games?
No, I want to know why you're wearing a hood like you're going to rob. Did you break into someone's home and you're gaming and smoking their weed?
No, you were talking about my mom. I'm just kidding. Hey, you want to see my game room?
No, I don't. I need to know the mask. You can't just show up with the mask and act like there's no excuse needed.
I really do game in this when I stream.
Is something broken in your brain pan?
No, I'm just messing with you.
Gotcha. Show me your game room. Let's see what you got.
Oh, hey, you want to see something I wanted to show you earlier?
No, not that. I want to see your game room.
No. Hey, check this out. I have a Kratos 1/4 scale statue from, I don't know which one that's from, 2?
That's from 2. Yeah, look at that. That's nice, man.
Dude,
How much?
This thing's huge. Look at the size of it.
I need something to compare it to scale. Shut up. Don't show me, just show me your hand or something.
I don't know. Well, I got big hands, but
yeah, that's
it's
big.
1/4. It's 36 inches tall.
That's massive. That's excellent. I love it. The guys who made Sideshow Collectibles, I think they're the same guys who did that. They sent
Gaming Heads made it.
that one. Okay, Sideshow made one, and it was. I'm 5'6". This thing was about 3 feet tall, and it was Kratos like lunging from God of War 1 or 2.
Yes. I know what you're talking about.
It's fucking beautiful. But I gave it away when we shut down Bartlett Jones. I just let everybody come in and take whatever they wanted. So, but that said, though, that's beautiful. Look at all your statues and shit, man.
Dude,
That's
it's 36 inches tall, and this is the armored one. It's the exclusive by Gaming Heads.
Okay.
This thing sold for about 600, and it ended up getting pretty rare. These can go up to $1,800 for the exclusive edition.
Do you buy to sell or you buy just to build your?
I did,
Okay.
but now but I got some cool stuff, man. Look at this. Is a custom Elden Ring.
Yeah, show me. Let me see.
Am I annoying people right now?
No, I'm excited to see this. I'm trying to get my auto scroll going. Your messages automatically scroll to display. Okay, got it.
I can't
Right.
message. I can't message through Streamlabs. I don't even have Streamlabs.
Yeah, don't worry about that. Just show me the Elden Ring. I want to see some of your shit.
So you know the collector's edition Elden Ring statue?
Oh, yeah, it's beautiful.
So this is a remake of that from China, and it's 1/4 scale, so it's like almost 3 feet tall.
Is it emanating like toxic fumes?
No, but it's check it out. It even does like the strobe that matches like the game boot up.
Hold the camera horizontal, Pompish.
Sorry, I'm not looking. There we go.
No, I can't. Okay, there we go. There we go. Ooh. Oh, get in really close. I think get in really close on that. Holy shit. That's the detail, dude. I can literally, I can see the fingerprints of like the 6-year-olds who made it. That's insanely detailed.
Yeah, I got some good ones.
That's beautiful. It really is great. So, I love going to Comic-Con and doing the sideshow booth, but it's so crowded. I keep hoping, because these things are beautiful works of art, and they would probably be so successful if museums, like if Sideshow did a museum tour, and they just let people come in, and it was like moved around the country every month, and you could just go and look at their beautiful statues of pop culture, because they do some absolutely gorgeous shit, man. It's insane. It's insane.
That's my buddy Wings the Redemption.
Oh, okay. I know somebody who's really into that guy. So I think it's Mutant Mo or somebody on our chat talks about that guy all the fucking time.
Yeah, that's King Cobra JFS.
Okay. I'm 53. I don't really know these.
You want to be on my wall?
No. God, no.
Okay. Well,
why would I be on your wall? Like, you mean like you're going to put my skin on your wall? And
that's my Mount Rushmore.
Okay. Well, it's not my place to tell you if I need to be on your wall.
So I can just do it? That just seems invasive.
I don't have to come to your house.
No. What do you want to, though? Look at this game collection.
Oh, look at that. What's that dude with the green hair? Look at that Dragon Ball. Look at that fucking thing.
Oh, dude, you want to see this? This thing's like $2,500. Hold on, it lights up too if I can get to it.
What do you do for a living that you can spend that kind of money and not?
I am a driver, but I'm an independent contractor, so
Are you married?
Somebody said I was delivering DoorDash. It kind of hurt my feelings, but
Why would that hurt your feelings?
there's nothing wrong with delivering DoorDash. But
why do you have a child or a wife?
Yeah, both.
Okay, and you can make enough.
And a mom too.
And you can make enough being a contract driver to spend that kind of money on statues and shit.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah, I make good money.
So
I don't make David Jaffe money. But
what do you deliver in that fucking truck? What's in the back?
Scented candles. Oh yeah, look, I got all these too.
Good Lord.
And this is my 85-inch TV.
By the way, I want to tell people out there who are watching this real quick. This is the thing. Go in, and people say this all the time. It's not a lie. I mean, unless you are like an artist or you really believe in expressing yourself creatively or whatever, go get a fucking trade like this guy.
Yeah, 100%. I wasn't smart enough. So I just found trade.
Smart enough. It's that you seem plenty smart. What time do you work? Are you crunching in your job all the time or
no? It's super easy. Yeah, I'm just so I lean a little conservative, but I'm a strong believer in the most amount of money for the least amount of work.
Yeah, I mean, and you get to come home and enjoy your hobbies and your family, and you make a great living.
Yeah,
I'm
slowly becoming more lefty as we go.
Because you're a wise person, I can tell. Otherwise, I wouldn't be talking to you. What do you think? What do you think the number one thing is that caused you to start becoming lefty? What occurred?
Ooh, how embarrassing. We're gonna talk about politics right now. Are people hating me right now? I can leave. I can't read the chat. I'm on my phone.
You're a little sensitive, sir. You show up in a room full of toys with weird fucking men on your wall wearing a mask. I wouldn't worry about.
Okay, well,
we've crossed the line a long time ago about you needing to worry what other people think about you.
I'm probably your favorite guest.
Fair enough. Okay. So, what was my question? I've already forgotten.
I don't know.
Oh yeah. What occurred to make you say, I'm going to start becoming a little more lefty?
You guys are so terrible at running things that it's hard to be. But look, I believe that maybe the world has to be ran conservatively. But the ideal life is the left. Like if life worked the way it should, that's a more beautiful life, right?
Yeah. So I guess the left fight for that, whereas the conservative people just give up because they want the money. You know how it is.
Yeah. You know what scares me about the left is I feel like they kind of want to keep the cycle of these problems because it puts them into a position of needing to be there. And so I don't know if they really want to solve it.
I mean, I would imagine that's anybody in a position of power, but true. I don't think that's
okay. So here's the problem with the left I have. I feel like both sides rob your wallet, right? But it seems like the left will help you look for it. Like they're a little bit like, playing the good guy, and that bothers me.
All right, fair enough. All right,
bad budgeting too. Seems that they're very bad at budgeting.
Really, even though the presidents that usually leave office with a surplus are Democrat, and the ones that overspend and leave us with a huge deficit are historically Republican.
That's true. We got a president now that's not taking a salary, correct?
I don't know. And I mean, big deal. That 200,000 is not going to go very far. You want to impress me?
I like Trump, but I don't like Trump supporters for the most part. They're very embarrassing.
Here's one. Darth Nugget says, "Since when do I really need Tech Protect? Tech Protect. Would you bring up the stats, please, on Republican and Democrats leaving office as president and showing the deficit?"
Oh, I understand their spending.
No, you do. But Darth Nugget doesn't believe. Darth Nugget in the chat says, "Since when?" I'm like, since forever, since Reagan.
Is he a Republican?
I think he leans Republican, which is fine, no problem.
Dude, can you believe that I have an $1,800 statue of something you created?
I
That's
mean,
nuts, man.
All I can tell you is I get it. I know what you're saying, but it's very cool. Let's just say that it's very, very cool. But it's so weird in the sense that until you experience it on that end, you end up just kind of, it's a different relationship you have with that stuff than fans do. Just like Raiders Lost Ark to me is like some kind of, manna from heaven. But if I met Spielberg, and I have met him before, but I wasn't gushing over Raiders, I think he'd be like, "Oh, cool. I'm glad you like my movie." And he just kind of at that point would end up, he just moved on with his life,
Can you see my wiener?
I can see your wiener. Yep. So all right, I'm gonna let you go though because I want to show some people some stuff on screen.
All
buddy.
right,
Good,
man.
good
Good
to talk
talk.
to you. You as
Yep.
well, sir. Very cool game room. Very
Thank you.
impressive. You're welcome. Trump and Biden. Not even Trump and Biden though. What I'm talking about is
This is like more realistic to the last two presidents, right? This is
Yeah.
Trump's presidency before the
presidents.
one he's currently in. Net spending, Trump was at $4.9 billion spent during his term, and Biden was at 3.8. For tax cuts, these are in trillions, not billions. Sorry, little boy numbers. 4.9 trillion from Trump, 3.8 from Biden, 2.5 trillion in tax cuts, 0 from Biden. And the net interest increases was a whole 1 trillion versus the 0.5 from Biden.
Yeah, so I'm trying to find it. U.S. federal deficit by president. There you go. Is that it? No, this is it. Hang on. Nope. Right. So, it goes up and it goes down with Democrats. It goes up. And then it jumped with Obama, but that was because of the financial crisis. And then it cratered again. Good. Went up with Trump, started to come down with Biden. It's how it works. All right. Tell you the Spielberg story. The Spielberg story is I've met him a couple of times, but the main time I met him, I was making a movie at USC. I was a student there, and I invited him to come on my set. And he said, yeah, I'll stop by. And he stopped by late at night when we were still shooting with George Lucas. And it was fun. I was starstruck though. I mean, he was very cool. He was very kind. He's exactly what you want him to be. Lucas was, very standoffish. Apparently he's kind of introverted and stuff, but I was literally starstruck. He's walking around. He's like, hey, tell me about your movie and what's this shot you're setting up and all this stuff. And I just shat the bed, man. Totally fucking shat the bed. I don't want to, whatever. I don't care if you love Bush or Biden or Trump. I don't care. Whatever. Yay. You like Trump. You think I'm an idiot for liking Harris. Yay. Fun politics. Let's move on. I want to show you something we can all agree on. This story is fucking nuts. I think Spielberg knows about the aliens, Gabriel. Absolutely. This story is fucking nuts, man. Listen. I'm going to play you this 2-minute clip. This guy died, allegedly. And this is what he says, what it felt like dying. It's pretty interesting. Here you go. Let me get that off the screen. Okay.
How did that happen?
I had a seizure.
Really?
Yeah. It's pretty crazy to talk about. But I had a seizure last week, and it's fallout from my death from last year. I died.
Dead?
Yeah. I had what's called a craniectomy, or I had a blood clot on my brain. It grew to the size of my brain. Popped my skull open when I was working at Finale Cafe.
This happened when you were at work?
Yeah. And then I was in a coma for 2 weeks. I was pronounced dead. My vitals came back on in the ambulance. I survived a 6-hour surgery. It's called a craniectomy. And it was a 42% fatality rate. And my doctor calls me coin flipper because I flipped a coin on my life. And I had a bad coin and I still won.
Whoa. So wait. So you died before?
Yes.
Right. So this is where it gets interesting when he says what it was like when he died.
How did that feel? What was the experience like?
Peaceful.
Peaceful?
Yeah.
Really? Like, what did you see? Like, you see anything?
Nothing.
Really?
You don't see anything. I'm not saying nobody sees anything.
Right.
I did not see anything. And I've always thought stories like that are kind of like BS or whatever. But now that I've been through it, what I can say is true that a lot of people say is life flashes before your eyes. Like every memory, I'm telling you, every single memory you've ever made in your entire life will rush past you at light speed. And you get to a point where whatever pain you might be feeling, you don't feel it anymore. And you'll kind of just start to not even understand what's going on. And then either you'll be back or you won't.
Wow.
But it's very peaceful. And honestly, one of the hardest things I've had to deal with is accepting to be back alive after I died.
Wow. Wait, so it's harder for you to accept you're alive than being dead?
Yes, it was really peaceful, and it honestly is something that I struggled with for a long time, and I'm feeling better now, and I hope it always stays that way.
Wow.
So until then, yeah, we just like are gonna...
That's crazy.
I mean, the idea that, I mean, it makes sense, right? I mean, when you think about when you just die and people, you know, shit themselves and piss themselves because all the muscles just relax and it's over. Similarly, I imagine when you just let go of all of the mental shit you deal with as a thinking creature, and you just let go of all of it, even when he says, you know, I didn't even know where I was or what was going, you know, I think that sense of you-ness, and that's what we were talking about earlier with the bacteria and stuff, that sense of you is this very fragile construct that dissipates, you know, like bubbles in a soda or something. It just rises up and you're just isness. And the fact that he's saying it was so peaceful, I've heard people say that before. I heard even, I'll tell you something, I've told this story before, but I got terrible food poisoning and my wife at the time got terrible food poisoning. And I come into the bathroom in our house and she's lying on the floor, and we have bidets because we're not fucking savages. And the water is just shooting up because she had fallen off the toilet and she was just lying there with her eyes wide open. And it was terrifying because I thought she was dead. So I call 911, of course, and they come, and she starts to come around. And she told the nurse at the ER, she says, you know, I heard the paramedics kind of shaking me and knocking me around and stuff. And I was so peaceful. I was so mad that they were bringing me back. And the nurse said, you know, when that happens, that tends to mean that you're really, like, if you give into that, we lose people who talk about that and they give into that. And so apparently there is this sense of peace and letting go, whether that is pituitary gland or, you know, leaking DMT, or whether that's just, you know, I don't know, but it is pretty fucking peaceful. Zeke says my wife did not see anything when she died. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Movie madness. You want to talk about DC and Superman movie news? I don't know any fucking news, man. What's the news? I know that they started shooting Supergirl this week, and the girl who's playing Supergirl is super cute, but short of that, I think they're putting too many fucking people in Superman. But at the same time, I do have a great deal of faith in Jimmy Gunn, and so I think it could be good, but we'll have to see, you know. So death is now a psychedelic experience, says Blackjack. Blackjack, life is a psychedelic experience. What do you think happens to your consciousness when you die, says Boss Man? I mean, I have no idea. I have no idea what consciousness is. Oh, okay. Who's coming? Oh, okay. We'll bring him in. Oh, I see. He's in there. Okay, I'll bring him in a second. You know, I don't know what consciousness is. There are interesting theories that fringe neuroscientists have about microtubules and, you know, consciousness happening at a quantum level and this, that, and the other. But I don't know. I have no fucking clue. I had a dream the night before my dad died, and he was hospicing in the apartment they lived in Alabama. And I'm walking down the hall in their apartment in the dream, and he's like 40 with a dog and a hat, and he looks as healthy as I've ever seen him. And he was decrepit and old and dying and, you know, in the bed. So this was many, many years when he was like that. And he looked at me in the dream and he nodded at me, but it was like a stranger would nod at you when you pass them on the street. It wasn't like a distant nod, like, fuck you, I don't like you, but it was more like the sense of him as Ralph Jaffe that was gone for him. Like he was just this existing thing that was now moving through, going on to some other adventure. It was really interesting. And that made me, that kind of helped cement that idea that, possibly the sense of usness doesn't continue, but we potentially continue, you know, as a sense of a different sense of us, I guess. Okay, let's bring on Maximilian. I got two versions of Max. I got Max with the face and Max with Superman. Which one am I clicking? Let's bring in the face.
Oh, the Superman is just to show you what's going on with the Superman news. That's what's on X.
Okay.
Right
All right, Maximilian. So what's going on? I mean, I know right now I saw some headlines about Superman's flying face, which looks like that's what you brought up.
Yes.
Is that news? I mean, what's the deal?
I
What's
want to get
happening?
your unbiased because being in the video game industry and covering video game fandoms too. There's a lot of divisive that like people have really different groups of like what's good, what's not. So I wanted to get your expert, unbiased opinion, especially since you're you were creative in the industry, maybe with art design, of what you think of it. Of
just that image of him.
Because I personally I'm rooting for the movie. I think it looked bad. I don't think it was the worst thing I've ever seen.
Okay, hang on. By the way, hang on. Tech. Is Tech there? So what ends up happening? I think we're going to be getting an echo now, right? Okay, as long as you're watching out for the echo, cool. Because okay, great. Okay, so keep going, Max. I'm sorry.
No, this would be really because I like your channel a lot. It'd be great to get your unbiased opinion because you're not covered. You like Superman, right? But you're not like
Superman is my favorite superhero of all time. It used to be Spider-Man growing up, but as I've become an adult and lived life, I still love Spidey, but Superman really is my favorite superhero ever.
Okay, so the what people are the general audiences here are saying is he looks off in this image. The Superman, if you think about one of the coolest images of Superman, it's Superman in flight, right? He's flying, he looks powerful, he's got the chiseled chin.
Sure.
And I, as a progressive person too, you wouldn't want to make fun of someone with a lazy eye. But I mean, you're talking about Superman in the image flying through the air and his eyes going off to the side.
I'm absolutely not even seeing that. I'm not saying you're wrong if I look for it, but I mean, it's not like he's Jeff Bezos with Jeff Bezos's lazy eye.
No. True. Okay.
I'm just kind of like,
I guess a lot of people are comparing it to other versions of Superman. You see a lot of the memes here in the X chat, like different, things like that.
Yeah, who get it? I mean, because look at it there.
You do think it looks fine there? Okay.
I mean, yeah, it's
okay. The other thing people were saying,
but I mean, I get
his face is so still. Like there should be movement there.
Well, I mean, the movie's not out yet, and they tune things and tweak things. However, to be fair, this was their first big trailer, and they knew what shots they were using.
Okay,
and they could have moved that up in the queue of, hey, we need a complete shot of every shot in the trailer. So while I agree with that excuse that, hey, the movie's not done yet, at the same time, you don't release a trailer, let alone a trailer to a $250 million movie.
Well, they didn't need. They had an amazing 2-minute trailer, and this was just like a 30-second spot, and it was not as good a look as the trailer.
Yeah, I'm not saying. How do I put this? I'm not saying you're wrong to see it, and when you point it out, I'm like, oh yeah, I guess that's there. But I mean, to me, I'm excited.
To me, though.
I'm excited because it seems like James Gunn is bringing the optimism of Superman, that he gets sort of the sense of aspirational. And I'm not saying Cavill didn't, because I do like Henry Cavill a great deal, but I'm sorry, but if you have to wait 3 movies before you start to get a glimmer of the Superman you know and love, and until that time, he's just kind of a brooding dude. I'm not saying he was Batman, but that's not Superman to me. So I'm very excited for this. And no
criticism. The main criticism I have is just that it's a trend in superhero movies is they do this fisheye lens that, and James Gunn said this when he got criticism, he actually responded on threads he's on. I don't think he likes to use X much anymore for obvious reasons. But he said, there's no CG going on there. That's David Cornsweet's face. It's a fisheye lens. Sometimes it warps people's faces, makes them look a little weird. And I would prefer they didn't do that, because they had Adam Warlock in Guardians 3. They had that look in Black Adam. I don't know if you saw those movies, but
I saw Black Adam. I thought it was fun. I enjoyed it. It wasn't great, but it was fun.
So that, I guess it's just the pet peeve of mine. Like if you like certain graphics techniques they do, I don't like that look in the.
Yeah, I don't think about it that much, frankly. Okay. I look at it and I go, I look at it and I go, there's a director that seems to get it. I've never disliked. I don't love every James Gunn movie, but I've never disliked a James Gunn movie. And I did the guy's vision. Somebody in the chat is asking about Creature Commandos, which I haven't watched, but I hear that's really good.
I wanted to like it. It's interesting, very violent, sexual, which is fine. I'm just I just didn't gel with the characters like I did with he did the Suicide Squad, the second one,
right?
Peacemaker, and I really like Peacemaker.
Okay, yeah. So no, I don't sit around and go like, I'm not saying people don't have a right to nitpick, and if they're excited in a vacuum, they're going to pick on anything because they're excited about it. That's wonderful. But I would say for me personally, as a very big Superman fan, I'm just glad there's a new one coming out, and I'm glad that it's being made by someone who seems to get the character, and I'm glad they're spending the money and to make it good. And I'm also glad that, if James Gunn, like Suicide Squad or The Suicide Squad, that was also a movie that had tons of characters, but they killed like 40% of them in the first 2 minutes of the movie.
Yeah,
right?
I didn't like it at first because of that.
Well, right, but I'm saying that I am worried when I hear about all these fucking characters coming to Superman, but at the same time, I trust James Gunn. He's not a moron. He's not like, what do you mean?
I think
you mean Sandman and Venom and the Green Goblin was too much for Spidey 3? I've never heard that theory. He knows what he's doing. It may not work, but I don't think he's doing it like out of ignorance or anything. So I'm excited.
I have one more small question, if it's all right, because I like coming on your show. I like all systems. I'm not like a fanboy that picks a system because I like to enjoy Xbox, Nintendo, PlayStation.
Yeah, me too.
I will say though, it is so hard to be an Xbox fan anymore. And
Why?
all my friends just Xbox is dead. All their games are going to other systems. Can you give any advice to the Xbox people out there still? How to? I don't think ever count them out. I think there's some they've made certainly mistakes.
I don't give a fuck.
You don't.
Well, in the sense that I love games, right?
Yeah.
And so Xbox right now, I've said this before, I have been a fan of Xbox this generation more than PlayStation. That doesn't mean PlayStation hasn't.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Because, and not in terms of all their games, because a lot of their games have been terrible. And Sony, even when they miss, other than Concord, they rarely miss badly. It just may not be what you wanted, but it's still a very functional, well-made game. You can't say the same about Xbox. So I'm talking about just they seem more interesting and ambitious, and they're trying a lot of things. And people say, well, that's because they have to. It's like, I don't give a shit what the motivation is. The fact is I get to be the beneficiary of a lot of these kind of what I consider forward-thinking aspects of the industry. So for me, it really, it's about the games, and the more people that can play games, I think that's great. I get the tribalism. I get it's fun. I get it's college football. And I don't mind partaking in that from time to time, but it's just not very interesting right now. It's like, it's everybody gets to play these games. Microsoft is the number one publisher on Sony right now. They had 69%, I think I saw today, of the market on Sony as a publisher. Right. And they've got an amazing year if they can deliver on these games that so far look pretty fucking good. So for me, though, honestly, when I've said this many times, when I see people having PlayStation versus Xbox, it to me, it's like being one of the Fast and the Furious drivers and laughing at high school kids that are, going, my Toyota Camry is better than your Honda Accord. And I'm like, guys, you're driving Accord and Camrys. It's like, if you really want, step the fuck up and game on a PC, and not just because the graphics are the best you're going to get or streaming, but because you can play everything there for the most part, and not just the big stuff, but the weird, quirky, arty shit that you're never going to get on PlayStation. You're never going to get on Xbox. I mean, the best horror game I've ever played is called, oh shit, what's it called? It's from Red Candle Games. It's not called Redemption, is it? It's the one that was banned. You can't buy it on Steam. You can't buy it on GOG. Can't buy it on console because China said they were offended by it.
Okay. It's called Devotion.
The best horror game I've played, and it's so cool. And the only way you can play it is to buy it directly from their store and play it on your PC. So it's like, you know what? All these guys that are out there trying to act like, yeah, I'm a fucking gamer and Xbox is this and PS5 is that. Shut up. Right? I have all the consoles. I like them. They're great. Sony's great first party. I made my bones with Sony. I have nothing but, respect for what they've done to me and for me as a company. But don't act like you guys who are bitching about Xbox, Sony, Switch are the ones sitting at the captain's chair of this conversation, because you're not. You're driving Camrys and Accords, and we're out here fucking racing with Dom and family in the goddamn Miami streets with Fast and Furious with PCs.
You don't think that like a lot of my friends,
And
like,
yes,
it's done deal.
Yes,
for
Tech Protect, clip that shit. Clip that shit, Tech Protect. All right, sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to take up your time, but
No,
you're
that's
saying
all right.
that people are, my friends are saying, oh, it's a done deal. They're just going to have to go third party. All their games are on other consoles now. I'm like, never count them out. You never know. Things could change pretty quickly. What if they do it? What if they do the first 4K handheld after Switch 2 or something? You know.
Well, what I'll say is that Phil Spencer has said that, you know, I'm stunned by this, because I kind of am like, why are you guys still making hardware? And he came out the other day and said, we're going to compete. Like, somebody asked him, it may have been that Paris guy. It's like, why would you buy an Xbox at this point then? And he said, well, we're working on some stuff and we're going to compete at the innovation hardware level. And I don't think he means graphics. I think, because I mean, that's dated the minute the thing comes out. I think he's talking about, maybe it's an interface issue. Maybe he thinks they can basically make the core gamers version of the Switch, although I would argue that's the Steam Deck, but they can make it for cheaper. I'm not sure what he means, but he is what he's forward facing, saying to the audience is, we are going to keep making consoles, and we're also going to be putting our shit on everything. But the reason you're going to want an Xbox, you know, you're going to end up with really innovative hardware that Sony's not going to be able to do. Is that true? I don't fucking know. But that would be the only thing I would tell your friends if they're looking for some kind of argument point. But frankly, until I'll believe it when I see it.
Okay. Well,
All right.
thanks a lot. That makes me
Anytime.
feel better.
Always good to talk to you, buddy. Always good
All
to
right.
talk to you. All right. See you
Thanks for
soon, sir.
having me.
Pompous, thank you for the super chat. He says, hey, if you go to bed with an itchy butt, you wake up with a smelly finger. I understand. That's how it happens. I'm a Gen X kid. That's all we ever did. No, I appreciate it, buddy. Thank you for that super chat, bud. Okay. Yeah. Tech was showing us that game Devotion. It's a great fucking game. It's an absolutely great fucking game. Okay. Let me show you guys. Okay. I got to show you this. This is, I don't know. I don't think this has been debunked. I think this is real, and I can't get my goddamn head around this. This happened a few weeks ago. And this was when we were getting the fires in Los Angeles, and specifically in the Palisades, right? Kev, hey, let Tech Protect know what you want, and he might bring you on. Johnny, thank you, buddy. Xbox equals Paul Walker. Thank you for the super chat, bud. Shut up, you whore. No, it doesn't. I love my Xbox. I got an Xbox S, right? X and an S out there and an X here. But don't fucking, tell me that. It's not true. It's just not true. Oh, well, it might be Paul Walker because he's dead. Maybe that's what you mean. That's terrible. You're going to hell. All right. What? How's this real? How's this real?
Died needlessly. His mum, Shelley. It was my baby. And he died needlessly. His mum, Shelley, revealing the litany of letdowns as the Palisades fire approached. Guess what didn't work? 911. All the phone lines were down. Rory, who was born blind with cerebral palsy, lived in a self-contained cottage on the property. Embers were raining down. Shelley's hoses ran dry. He said, Mom, leave me. And no, Mom can leave the kid. And I've got a broken arm. I couldn't lift him. I couldn't move him. When the fire department brought me back, his cottage was burnt to the ground. It was my baby. And
I just want to be clear here. Based on all we know, which is this, maybe there's more to the story. I would sit there and I would burn with my fucking kid. I would not leave my kid to burn alive in a fucking house. Now, the only thing I can think of is if she had other kids, maybe then you've got a real Sophie's choice. But even then, if if you have other kids and they don't have a dad, and so if you and this little boy are going to die, 3 other kids are going to be without a mom, that's the kind of shit that will break your fucking heart, but you'd probably have to go. Maybe. I don't think I could do it in the moment. But in this case, and now here we are less than a week after it happened, and she looks like she's fucking in Hawaii with makeup on. And what the fuck am I looking at? How is this real? Right? Life insurance says Pompous. Maybe. Blackjack says she killed him. Have you have instances to know if you would fight or flight? Well, when it's your child, it doesn't matter. You don't leave your fucking child to burn alive, man. I just wondered, maybe you guys had seen it debunked. Like underneath it, there's a story of this guy. Sarah Brunel post, it's not the worst. This is one of the absolute worst stories of the fires. Amputee dad waiting for an ambulance with his disabled son. They both died. Okay. I think that's tragic, but that makes sense. That's what you do. That's what you do. Fake for attention says one pump attention equals money. So yeah, but the kid's dead. It's not like it didn't happen. I mean, her son is dead. I don't know, man. I don't know how you could do it. And you'd like to believe, when I was a kid, we had the Incredible Hulk TV show on, and that show, all the kids in school would make fun of the mom who was talking about when you're really under stress, a lot of people can exhibit amazing feats of strength. And in the case of this one woman, her car flipped over and it was about to catch fire. And she's like, I don't know how. She was just like a little mom, but she's like, I lifted up the car. Right. And so you'd like to think that's real. Like in a moment of sheer trauma, you can rise to the occasion somehow. But even not, you just sit there and you hold your child and you just go, bring it on, motherfucker, because I'm not leaving this kid. I'm not leaving the kid. That's what I would say. Kevin, would you have left this little boy if it was your son? Kevin.
Oh, shit. Am I on?
Nope.
Oh, fuck. I'm on. Can you hear me?
Nope.
You can't fucking... Oh, my God.
I cannot hear you.
Kevin, he's responding to you. He can hear you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tony.
Oh, you can't hear me?
Nope. I cannot hear you at all.
Oh, fuck.
Kevin, just respond. Dog, I can hear you.
What's up, Jaffe? Hey. Oh wait, I would die with that kid, or just do my damnedest to stay with the kid and save us to get us out of the house.
Yeah, I wouldn't just sit there, but I would absolutely go, I'm gonna die trying to get you out of this fucking fire.
Yeah, absolutely.
And more importantly, I mean, not to backseat parent, because you never know in this case, but a lot of these people had time to evacuate. It's like when you've got a kid with cerebral fucking palsy.
Oh yeah.
Will you wait until the fire's right outside your door? Something doesn't add up here.
Yeah, it's also it's true too. I think you were and some people are saying like doing it sounds so fucked up, but just like maybe she's doing this for some clout, some fame and attention, which is massively fucked up. But yeah, I think I don't know. She has a lot of issues, unfortunately. I don't want to judge a human being, but like
I do.
Yeah. I mean, this case for her, yeah, I think so. Absolutely.
So okay, well now there's more to the story. Hang on.
Yeah.
The third. Okay, so hang on. Apparently he was a celebrity. This guy. Okay, Motherface. Okay, hang on. Let's do a little research before we burn this woman at the stake. He was 32. Motherface's backlash on Twitter as she recalls desperate attempt to save the guy. No, fuck you. Get your ad out of my fucking face. Why am I muted?
Oh shit.
I figured out the echo thing. I have to mute your screen, but not your mic. Say something.
Test.
Yeah, no echo. All right, good job.
All good. Yeah.
Yeah, all good.
Okay.
All good.
A Malibu mom's devastating loss during the LA fires has turned into a heated conversation on social media. Shelley Sykes shared the heartbreaking story of her 32-year-old son, Rory Callum Sykes, tragically passed away in the fire after she was unable to evacuate him due to his disabilities. Rory, who was born blind with cerebral palsy, had recently moved to the States with his mom from Sydney. Shelley has since been flooded with support and criticism on social media, particularly Twitter, where she's weighed in on the situation. One particularly troubling comment said, that mother who left her disabled son to burn in the fires because she couldn't carry him, I know she has a nasty insurance policy on him. She's going right to hell. Let's see. Here's the details. The events leading to his death are outlined painfully by his mom, who explained the fire conditions near their 17-acre property started to escalate. As evacuation orders came in at 3 a.m., they chose to stay. Shelley did everything she could to keep her son safe. Why are you staying? He's blind and he has cerebral palsy, even suggesting he sit in the shower to avoid the heat. But by 6 a.m., the fires were too close. She recalls seeing flames reach Corey's cottage. But when she tried to reach him, the door was locked. With no water to fight the flames, she was helpless. The situation only worsened when Shelley sought help from local firefighters, who returned with the news that he had not survived. The chief said, "We want you to come with us. We need you to identify the body." However, social media users have been quick to share their frustrations. Another disabled person has died, they said, from the fires because he couldn't be evacuated. We have to do better. Yeah, what's the problem, lady? You live on 17 acres with a cottage. Could you maybe, I don't know, call someone at 3 a.m. and get your kid out of there? You fuck. I'm sorry, I have no sympathy. She can go fuck herself.
I will say this though. I mean, this maybe doesn't change the situation. Like, I didn't realize he was 32. I thought it was like a 5-year-old kid.
Well, that's what it looked like, but still, yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, but no, I mean, it's like if it was, again, yeah, that's a weird one because, you know, he has cerebral palsy. He literally can't, and she just should have been better prepared. I think that's just massively stupid of her to do that. Like,
I agree. So what do you want to talk about? Why did you call me here in the middle of the night and wake me from my sleep?
I wanted to see your titties, Jaffe. That's why. You're not gonna respond to that.
Did you say you're muted again, dude?
Are you fucking with me? Am I muted?
Tech?
What? I didn't touch anything. Am I muted?
I can't hear him.
What the fuck?
I can totally hear you. I'm kidding. What's going on?
Okay, fuck it. No, I made a dumb joke. No, just following up on the Superman discussion earlier.
Yeah,
I wanted to get your thoughts because, like, I'm someone that's a big Zack Snyder fan. I admit though, like, I liked Man of Steel. I liked Batman vs Superman. I thought the scripts could have been better, and I do agree. I wish we got more of a standalone Henry Cavill Man of Steel sequel. But I'm curious what you thought of the 4-hour. Did you watch the 4 hour?
I did.
Yeah. What did you think? Because I thought that was like the best one. I thought that's like one of the best comic book movies of all time. But I wanted to get
I only saw it once. I would have no problem watching it again. I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. I mean, I like, you know, as bad of a human as he is, I like the Joss Whedon version of the Justice League. I don't, but it's kind of like that guy who called in earlier. I don't require everything to be, you know, the best movie ever. Like, I thought it was cool to have all those superheroes for 4 hours and have that budget. And, you know, it was cool. I thought it was neat, man. Was it the best movie, the best superhero movie? No, but when did that become? I don't know. I mean, it maybe, again, it goes back to generations, maybe. But, you know, I was a kid that grew up. I got a bunch of my old comics in the closet. I was just glad to read superhero stories. So you picked up a bunch of comics every week. Some were great. Some were forgettable. Some were, it's just okay.
Right.
But who cares? It's fucking superheroes. What's your problem?
Yeah.
So I don't mean to say you shouldn't hold movies to a high standard. You're a customer. You have every right to. I'm just saying, for me, you know, if you look at your screen real quick, I mean, you have to understand, hang on. This is what I had. Like, this blew my mind when I was like 10 years old, right? This was the live action shit that we got. Okay. It is, hang on. Is it called Challenge of the Super Friends, or what was that thing called? Live action DC show 70s. Legends of the Superheroes. Okay. Look at this fucking thing. You got to see this fucking thing, man. Have you seen this?
I don't think I've ever heard of this.
Yeah, this came on TV and our minds were fucking blown. So, Tech, I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. I'm going to just open my screen. Can I show my screen? There you go. Okay, so look at this thing. I'm not going to show you the whole thing. I'll show you like 2 minutes of it. Look at this fucking thing.
Oh my god.
Black Canary, Shazam. Um, that's it was insane. And it was so dumb. And Solomon Grundy was in it.
Yeah.
The Huntress, the Riddler, and and this was the Legion of Doom. It was junk. But and I'm not saying like somebody in the chat is saying, Jonathan says, Jaffe, shouldn't we have a higher expectation of $100 million+ budget movie? Kind of. You should have your expectation should be to be entertained. If you want to watch Batman v Superman and say, or Justice League and say it was not entertaining at all, then absolutely you have every right to say this is complain about it. But I do think fans get a little cuckoo for the Cocoa Puffs, and it's like, I mean, even Indiana Jones, I think the last 2 Indiana Jones movies were rubbish. But you know what? So what? It's Indiana Jones. I love the character. Yes, they were terrible films. And then someone comes along and makes The Great Circle, great video game. It's redeemed. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's just fun, man. It's amazing. And even like in the chat, Master Luke says, better than the Flash movie already. I thought the Flash movie was great.
I thought so too. It actually got terrible reviews and people saying it was crap on the internet. But when I watched it, it felt like watching like a superhero Back to the Future movie.
It absolutely felt like Back to the Future meets absolutely. That's what I thought too. And also I would say that if you watch the CW shows, the Berlanti shows,
I hear they're good. Yeah,
and I was never into the Arrow, what's his face, the Green Arrow as a kid or as the show. But once the Flash came on, and then Supergirl, and then they had, I think the
Legends of Tomorrow.
Legends, it is the most authentic version of live action comics I've ever seen, including the movies.
Right.
And it doesn't mean they're not as good as the movies at all. Like the Supergirl show, if it wasn't for Supergirl being super cute and it being Supergirl, it wasn't a great show, but it was so comic accurate and it was so in love with the source material that I don't know how people could not enjoy those shows that claim to be comic book fans.
I think there's a couple levels to what you're saying, because like it's funny. There's on one hand, did you hear what Martin Scorsese said about Marvel movies?
Sure.
Yeah, just like they're kind of just theme rides, and that caused a huge uproar on the internet. So it's like, on one hand, I do see comic book movies. It's like kind of what you're saying is like it's just entertainment. It's nothing deep, but it's interesting because we've had some great comic book movies that kind of elevated the genre. So like The Dark Knight, obviously Spider-Man. So I do kind of like it when, and I thought I wanted to ask about Justice League, the Zack Snyder cut, because to me, it felt like the first Lord of the Rings superhero movie. Like I felt like I was watching Lord of the Rings. Like they're gathering like a team. It just has like a billion different settings, and like it felt cinematic too. Like it's shot on film. It's shot so in this grandiose fashion. So I kind of dip my toes in where it's like I understand they're kind of just cheap entertainment, but I do like movies to be cinematic and feel like there's weight to it. So that's
I do as well, but I don't need every movie to be that. Right. I like the fact that you can have a real serious toned Batman movie from Nolan. And I also like the fact that I can just go see something fun and stupid like Ant-Man and Quantum Mania or whatever, which I thought was a lot of fun as well.
Yeah.
And it's just like, what do you guys, and again, I'm not trying, I know it sounds like I'm one of those people that's just trying to say, just don't be so I get you want to be, you're a fan and you want good shit and stuff, but it's just like, they're just,
gets too over the top, the fandom sometimes maybe.
Yeah, I mean, and again, but it's like consoles. I think it's just the internet, right? I don't want to be this guy that's like, oh, I'm so much above it. The internet just exacerbates it, and to an extent, it's fun. But then it gets to a point where you're like, are these motherfuckers serious? Do they really care this fucking much about this fucking shit? And some of them do, and that's disturbing as fuck to me. But the one
hyperbolic online, and also to your point about having them just be fun, what's cool is the director of The Flash, he's supposed to be developing the Brave and the Bold Batman movie. That's not Rob Pattinson. It's like a different Batman with Robin. And I thought, like, again, The Flash actually had really cool, I haven't seen action sequences that fun in a superhero film in a long time. It just wasn't afraid to be fun. So I'm actually looking forward to what he does. But
Yeah, and you know what else is good is the Amazon series, the new cartoon series that Bruce Timm worked on and J.J. Abrams worked on. It's Batman. I forget what they call it, but it's Batman set like before he was like super loaded down with gadgets.
it's
So
like
it's
in the
kind
40s, right, or something.
I don't think they name the time, but it feels like it's Batman in the 40s.
Okay.
It's not like Elseworlds, but it's just good. It's different. It's good, and yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm grateful that I'm able to enjoy these things in a way that they don't have a threshold of they have to be brilliant cinema.
Right.
Like I've spent some good time watching a motion picture show or a TV series or whatever.
Like
Because
you won't be disappointed.
it's not just that, it's just that it's like maybe it's because where I came from. I'm just like, man, you saw what I showed you? I got Spider-Man Electric Company. That was my live action Spider-Man when I was growing up.
Right. But is it, dude? But no Kevin Conroy though. That's kind of hard to.
No, whoever. I mean, I don't know. Is he the guy who does the voice?
Yeah, he was the one that did.
No. I mean, in Cape Crusader, the new one.
Oh no, he passed away. So
right.
Like, and he was the OG animated Batman for
right.
But I don't know who.
Well, he wasn't really the OG animated Batman. The OG animated Batman was the guy who was in the super. Don't play that. Don't play that. I'm gonna get fucked. I'm gonna lose monetization. You can play it without the audio, Tony, I think, but I think it's the audio that trips us up. We should do a test. Let's try it. Just play it, but don't put the audio on. But it is great. Tech. I don't know if you like Batman Tech Protect, but it's if you're into it, it's good stuff. Zack Snyder, though,
yeah,
I don't have any issues with Zack Snyder per se. I think his fans are obnoxious as fuck. And really, yeah, but really weird. Like, I'm like, are you guys serious? He's just a guy making movies, and not everyone's gonna like his fucking movies. But I liked 300. I loved his zombie movie. What was it? Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah.
I thought that was fucking fantastic. I thought 300 was good. I thought all of his superhero movies, including Watchmen, have something, a number of things good about them. I loved the look of Sucker Punch, but I thought it was a terrible movie.
That's my favorite Zack Snyder's Sucker Punch.
Because the look, or because you think it's a genuinely enjoyable film? Because I was bored out of my fucking mind.
I thought it was me personally. So I thought it was an enjoyable film, and like I admit, when I went to the theater, I just was like, okay, it's just going to be like an action flick because it got really bad reviews. But I kind of liked it because it felt like an R-rated like Disney princess action movie. Like it felt like I liked the camaraderie of like the 5 girls in the like mental asylum. Like I loved how they go into the imagination. Like she does the dance, and then you go into the fantasy world, which is them kind of going to their heads to get through like the conflicts that are going. And I thought the action, like I think what I like about Snyder, I know people say he's kind of just about like visuals over story and stuff, and like I think some of his storytelling could be improved, but like I just think he stages action in a way that's like very incredible, like just the tableau comic book.
And isn't he doing, my understanding is Spielberg and Michael Bay are producing Transformers G.I. Joe, and Zack Snyder is supposed to be the director, which I think could be really, really cool. Well, that's what I heard.
His next movie I know is his LAPD action thriller for Netflix. That's the next doing. Yeah.
And he did a movie with Batista, right? That was Zack Snyder on Netflix.
Army of the Dead, which I thought was
fun.
It was
the
fun.
One thing the thing I did not like was I couldn't get through more than 30 minutes of his sci-fi thing that he put out last year, the part 1.
Oh, Rebel Moon.
I was like, can't watch this. It's boring.
Yeah, I don't want to. Rebel Moon, I've watched it a billion times. I love the director's cuts, but I think releasing the PG-13 versions was the worst release strategy ever,
right?
Because it was just a bad showcase of the film, and like when the director's cuts came out, everyone made up their minds about the movies already. You know.
So you recommend watching it again now that it's the R version? Is it worth watching?
So me personally, I would recommend it just so you can see the full story. My issue.
No, I don't give a shit about that. Is it a good movie or not when it's rated R?
I think so.
Okay,
so.
I might give it another chance. All right, Kev, thank you, buddy. Was that what you were going to say, Tech?
Yeah, we're running at 8 o'clock.
Moving along.
Although there is one thing in chat. Someone asked, we haven't heard that Kevin's gay. Kevin, are you gay?
I mean, for the bit, yes.
Is it for the bit? Is it actually for the bit?
How long of the bit is it that you're gay for?
how long is the bit? I mean, as long as it needs to go, man. You know, whatever.
So, okay. So it sounds like you are. Good for you. I mean, I think it's great you own it, and good for you, sir.
I mean,
Good
look,
for
that's
you.
what you got to do in today's society, right? So fuck it.
No, that's just what you choose to do, or not choose. You can't help it. It's you're born that way, and it's wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful. Seriously, I mean, more people should be out like you and proud of it. Internet's made gay people like you very sad, and people who are allies like me.
Right.
It made me very sad to see my friends and family get mocked. Just because why? Because they happen to be, trans, or they happen to be gay like Kevin. I don't understand.
You
So
just have to embrace it. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. All right, buddy. Thanks for calling, man.
Bye.
Listen to this. There's a new game. Now, I don't know who determines what ads you see on Twitter. But I've been getting this ad constantly on Twitter, and I haven't watched the trailer. I wanted to wait and do it with you fine people. But this is one of those ideas. I had Swap Fire on today, and I did an interview a while back with the developer of BZZT, and about indie game developers and why they need ideas that, are like, I always get mad when people say, oh, everyone's got ideas. And I'm like, no, good commercial ideas are valuable. This is an idea. Now, I'm not saying this is a good game. I don't know what the game is. And it may be a hunk of shit, but this is a game that has done enough to get you going, okay, wait, what is that? And that's the job of a great commercial idea. Now, the rest of the game is about execution and heavy lifting on does it deliver. But this is a game literally called, it's coming out this year. It's a 4 versus 1 co-op game, asymmetrical. It's called Marines versus God. Marines versus God is an epic asymmetrical co-op where 4 Marines play versus God, who must destroy them with 100 powerful spells. We're going to watch this fucking trailer together, and we're going to sit in judgment over it. Come on now. Maybe. I mean, come on. Come on, that's cool.
Access granted.
It's great. It may not be a good game, but it looks like a fun fucking idea. Just the title.
Wish list to support us.
Marines versus God. David Seeger says, I hope God loses every match. It doesn't matter, Controller Sports. Controller Sports says asset flip. So what does it matter? No one cares. If this is a fun fucking game and it's got a fun fucking concept, it may be a piece of shit. There's a good chance it is. Most games, that kind of look like this maybe come out with a great idea and that's all they've got. But if it's actually a good idea or a well-made game, how this looks awesome. It's not Roblox, but it may as well be. Okay. Let me see. But asset flip. How can you claim to be a gamer and love games, and then when game developers find a way to make games for less money, which is basically taking assets from the asset store or the Unreal Engine store, and it's like, I've seen that animation before. It's like, so what? Who gives a shit? They're making a game, man. They're entertaining you. If it's fun, it's fun. You can really sit there and study the fucking animations of the walk cycle because you may have seen it somewhere else. Listen to this. One Pump Man says, funny you're mentioning this because when I was in Spain last year, I kept getting bread video game ads on Twitter. I didn't get them in the USA. Yeah, I don't know. But I get this one all the time. Movie Maniac likes it. That's very cool. Ravnos hates it. Fucking terrible. Darth Nugget says, looks like a cheap Chinese mobile game. So? Players versus admin. Fun asset flip, says Controller. Asset flip is a cringe-inducing comment, says Seeger. Toby says, looks like a fun power trip. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's the matter with you people. Seriously. I have high standards, but the game's probably free. And if it's a fun game, what's the problem? Everything's got to be a fucking game of the year award winner for a lot of you people. It's not, Jonathan, it's not that I'm tired of everybody being a critic. Be a critic all you want, but play it. And then make a decision, or say, I think the idea is stupid. I mean, you have a right to hate it, but I'm just like, it's a fun idea. Like if I were to say, hey, we're doing pot and popcorn this weekend and it's a movie called God versus the Marines and it's a low budget fucking schlock fest, I'd be there in a heartbeat. That sounds great. Now you may not though. Controller Sport says, make your own assets. That's it. Why? That's like saying, I mean, that's ridiculous. That's like saying, oh, you want to go down to the street, make your own car. Well, I could buy a car. No, make your own. No, I don't want to make my own. That's not what I like. What's the hook? A fucking car and army men fighting God? Yeah, here's the hook, Ravnos. Let me help you out. God has 100 spells, right? I assume they all do, they're probably variants of each other because you can only make so much. But the idea is he has 100 spells that he can use to stop the 4 Marines. Okay. And I don't know if they are random. I don't know if you can slot it out. And I assume what they have is a win condition, like, deliver the medical supplies to the refugees at the end of the bridge. And you have to stop them before they do. And so they are dealing with your spells from a, shooter perspective, right? Getting in cars, all that shit, over the shoulder, blah, blah, blah. And God is playing from an RTS perspective. It's not dissimilar to what, Molyneux's doing really in some ways, where you've got the hand, it's one of his God games and you're moving shit around and playing with the environment and launching spells. I think that sounds pretty neat. I think it sounds pretty fucking neat, man. I don't think it's the second coming. I think it's just fun. I think it's just fucking fun, man. God, you guys, I'll tell you. I'll tell you. You guys, Matthew says there's no satisfying some people. I'd explain the issue, but I promised Tech Protect I wouldn't call in today. Okay. I mean, I don't know what your issue really would be. Just take solace as Seeger knowing you are not as miserable as people that can't laugh at low budget Marines versus a God game. I know this looks fun, and you goddamn right. If it actually comes out on the market, because I'm still waiting for You Are Jesus to come out, that game. But if this actually comes out, I'll fucking play it hardcore. Send this clip to these motherfuckers and say, hey, come on the show and talk to Jaffe. He'll plug your game. Just pay him. Pay him to shill your game. I'll shill it. As long as it's good. Or I'll just let you know I haven't played it yet. But I think this is a fun idea, man. Fun ideas are not easy to come by. All right. Let's move forward anyway. What do we got, boys? Listen to this. Well, hang on. Let me look at what we got. Hang on. I might save that. Ooh. Oh, I gotta show you this. Okay, here's the deal. Tech, I need to go get a Coke. I'm gonna bring you on. Will you take care of our audience for a few minutes? I'll be right back.
Sure, we're gonna scroll your Twitter.
Okay. Yes, but not on my current Twitter because I have a story lined up. So
No, mine.
Oh, got it. Okay, have fun. Be right back in like 2 minutes. Just gotta get a Coke.
Sounds good. You'd think he'd have the Coke near the desk, right? But okay. Let's see. Jaffe's Twitter. What do you guys want to see? Oh, who he's following, right? Oh, fuck. More updates about the fucking crash. How awful. If it's 60 people that fucking went down. I know they said that there was some update that said that they found some survivors. Yeah, you should get a mini fridge. Oh, I should get him a mini fridge. A Coke-themed mini fridge. BRB watching the trailer. Ravenous, come on and talk about your position on this like asset flip thing. I think it's interesting. I don't know if you and Kevin are at odds, and that's why you're like, I'm not gonna go on if he goes on, or whatever the fuck's happening. But yeah, pop in. I'll pull you on. That goes for anybody. If anyone wants to pop in right now while Jaffe's walked away from his desk, I will pull you in. Bring Larry on. Who the fuck is Larry? Is that like a D's nuts joke that I'm not getting? Larry this dick. Ravenous is good with me. Sounds good. What is a Panzer Dragoon Saga? I have no idea. It's all gamer stuff that I'm not as well versed in.
Oh, my dear Twitter. Have you found anything great?
Here's hot celebs. Millie Bobby Brown. Is she an adult now? Is that a thing?
What do you think? Look at her.
Well, I don't see Drake commenting yet, so probably is an adult.
Yeah, she's an adult.
Yeah, Drake was only interested when she was like 14 or something. Do you remember that story or no? Drake, the music artist.
What about him?
He was like texting her during the shooting of Stranger Things when she was
a kid.
Yeah, she was like 14 or such. And I think one of the messages was like, I love you. Good night. You can always reach out to me. I'll always be here for you. Maybe it said princess, maybe it was something like that, but it was like it was pretty wild for. I don't know. Is that a thing? Like celebrities just reach out to children celebrities? Has that ever been okay?
It's never. Well, has it ever been okay? It certainly wasn't. Like I remember, before I was born, like Jerry Lee Lewis, the rock star, married a 13-year-old, but it's usually not looked. It's pedophilia. It's terrible.
Yeah, like you would never, when you were developing God of War, right, or you got to God of War 2, you would never have like reached out to like I'm a huge fan, and I'm also 9, and I love God of War 1. You're like, oh, I love you. Good night, sweet dreams.
Why would I?
I know, that's what I'm saying. I don't get the connection from Drake.
Now the only thing I ever did, and people made fun of me at Sony Santa Monica for, hang on, was when Harry Potter, the first Harry Potter movie came out, and we were all like on the internet or Ain't It Cool News looking at who they cast, and they had a picture of the woman who played Hermione, the kid who played Hermione. And all I said, and it may not even been the first Harry Potter, I said, when she grows up, she's going to be a very beautiful woman, is all I said. And boy, people didn't like me saying that. I'm like, I didn't say she is a beautiful woman. I'm saying looking at her, she clearly is going to grow into a very attractive adult. That's all I said. And look, there's a lot. Look, I went to college with a kid who was in a very famous movie when he was like 10, and he was like a super cute little kid star. And he pretty much grew up to look like he did when he was 10, but he's an adult, right? So a lot of these kids do not grow into attractive adults. But I could look at her and say, she's probably going to be, short of that though. Good God Almighty! Why would I call anybody about that? It's crazy.
Didn't the Home Alone kid? Isn't he like 30 something now, and he looks the same? Just like someone upscaled him. I don't know his name.
I don't know. I don't think so. No, he seems like his whole family seems. His brothers in that Succession show just won a Grammy or Emmy or whatever. So, all right.
Oh, can you imagine getting this, Jaffe? The those robot dogs, right?
Yeah.
Would you ever get a robot dog to walk your dog?
No. Well, maybe, but Ace would eat the fucking thing. Maybe. All right. I'm gonna show you guys something. All right. Thank you, Tony. And let me get Stoner Joe's thing back up there, if you don't mind. Can you get that? Stoner Joe. Thank you, buddy, for the super chat. Very generous, very kind, very courteous. Let's see what he had to say. He says, it's Tech Protect, the new young Jamie. Jaffe needs to protect our park crew 1 month and nothing new. It's Tech Protect, guys. I don't understand most of the references. I get who Jamie is. I don't know who Protect Our Park Crew is. Because, I just don't. I'm sorry. I'm an old, out of touch boomer or whatever. But point is this. Stoner Joe, thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. Tech Protect, you're the new young Jamie. Do you know who the Protect Our Park Crew is, Tech Protect?
No, I have no idea. Who's Jamie?
On the Joe Rogan show.
Do you watch the Joe Rogan show? Is that a thing?
I watch it from time to time when he has stuff about DMT and aliens and stuff. I don't agree with him politically at all, but I do like some of his. When he gets into more subjects like that, I'm super interested in listening. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know what this guy looks like, but pop up. Also, One Pump Man thinks I'm cute. Thank you, One Pump Man.
Don't tell my kid. She's got some competition now.
He's also saying if I'm single, he would One Pump Man. Hell yeah. No, I'm dating the mini Jaffe.
Where is the mini Jaffe? Is she around?
She's writing a new song right now.
Is she sitting in the closet?
Yeah. for those, we have a walk-in closet in the house. She likes the acoustics in there, so she'll write music in the closet, which is
wonderful.
Yeah, like Harry Potter-esque. All right.
Yeah. Sorry, Pump. Sorry, One Pump. All right, listen to this. Ravno says, I rewatched the trailer. I'm less down on it. The one person is God and is playing isometric versus 4 people running around as a hook that elevates the game from garbage to maybe it's fun. Yeah, try listening to the fucking pro, bitch. Me. I know how to suss that shit out the second I see it. I don't need a 3rd, 4th, 5th watch the goddamn trailer. Just sit down, be grateful you've got one of the greatest living game designers of video games talking to your dumbass. God damn. Okay. I didn't say it was me. Just, listen, let me tell you guys a story. Now, this is where the story starts, but it goes somewhere, whatever your agenda and your view of the world is when it comes to, LGBT folks, whatever, what I think. And I think everybody should be treated with respect and love. But the story starts with a trans woman, and it ends up somewhere where, well, it's not that. Hey, let me just show you. A trans woman from Kansas City paid $17,000 for this. Would you like to know what it was? It was to have 6 of her own ribs removed, and that would grant her a smaller waist. And now she plans to turn those remaining bones, you can see them right here, into a crown. She says she's going to make a crown out of them and wear them. Now that alone is pretty fucking what in the fuck? But after that, it gets very strange because I kind of figured, well, you can't top that story. Well, it actually turns out, my delightful friends, that you can top that story with this one. This guy's the baddest motherfucker on the planet. Man builds guitar out of his dead uncle's skeleton. I want to read that again for you, my friends. Man builds a guitar out of his dead uncle's skeleton and then uses it to play black metal. The surprising story of one of metal fans' quest to have his uncle shred for all eternity. That is the real deal. That is his uncle. He died. He basically, what they did, a lot of ways they clean these bones, I'm not even fucking with you, is they'll put them in a bag and they'll put a certain kind of beetle that eats the flesh off the bones. That's one of the ways they do it. You get a pristine skeleton out of it, you cleanse it, all that shit, and he turned it into a goddamn guitar. That's the coolest fucking shit. I've seen that guitar before, says Necro. Uncle wanted it done. Awesome as hell work. Yeah. I used to want to have my dad's skull back behind me. He's dead, of course. And, I never told him this, but I'm like, I'd have my mom and dad's skull here in the room with me. I mean, it beats the other thoughts of what's happening to their decaying bodies. The idea that I could actually have, it's my dad, it's like in Hamlet, you hold up the skull. That's my dad right there. I love that idea. But anyway, this guy's metal as fuck. Listen to this. I want you to tell me, and I need you to call in. You don't have to, but I need you to. I need you to call in on this one because I'm curious and I need some support. Okay. Here's the story. You guys know what disclosure is. Disclosure is apparently when humanity is ready, or the governments of the world that know about aliens and all this shit are ready to disclose the information. Okay, so this is coming from a thread, which of course it's probably bullshit, but I want to read it to you and I want to ask you a question. This guy says disclosure is about to happen. Time frame weeks to months, and this was written. This was posted January 18th, so we're getting there. If this is true, disclosure will cause extreme psychological distress. This is not a meme. Nobody is prepared. There is estimated, cannot speak to the accuracy, that an unfathomably high number of people may commit the SUA. Now, when that happens, be mindful. What I mean by that is do not let what will come out spread and consume your brain. You still have hobbies. You still have a tomorrow. You still have bills and a family. Be mindful. Take a minute. Smoke some weed and chill. That is about the best I can suggest. Disclosure will lead to more questions. These are ones that nobody fully has the answer to. When I was told, he says, in 2019, I immediately began drinking severely. I was eventually checked into rehab and had my clearance sent to a review board. It was shoehorned because it was expected. This is from, at the time, a 15+ year, no underlying conditions officer with a spotless record. So this guy learned, according to him, what the truth is about aliens or humanity or life or whatever. And he's saying that there is an estimate that when this information goes out to the world, there will be a very high rate of people choosing to end it all. And it makes me go, here's the question. What would cause that? On one hand, you would say, okay, if you know, disclosure says there's an afterlife. Well, that might increase the rate, right? Because people, if it's not like the religious afterlife that says, well, yeah, there's an afterlife, but if you off yourself, you ain't getting into the good place. Short of that, though, people might just go, it's like a reset button. That might do it. Hearing there's nothing after this, I don't think would increase the rate. I've heard some real, being in a simulation might do it, says Jonathan. I mean, seriously, that might make a lot of sense. That if it came out and science could say, look, we have absolute irrefutable proof that we are in a simulation. I could see people doing it and going, none of this is real. Everyone's an NPC. I'm an NPC. It doesn't really fucking matter. I had a rough life. I had a rough week. I had a rough day. I'm done. David says in the chat, why would aliens make people kill themselves? I don't think it's just that it would be aliens. I think it would be some kind of seismic schism that is formed, that is cracked and exposed and pulled apart in the human psyche, is what they're saying. Why have I been muted? I've been muted.
No. Your stream gets muted, not you. It's some people join in, there's no echo.
Got it. That's the issue. Right. What if the aliens are harvesting our consciousness? That is one of the scariest concepts I hear, which is basically Earth is just a factory. It's like a big fucking cattle ranch or whatever. And our souls are what they feed on. And we are basically just, being marinated in the experience of life and whatever. And ultimately, when we die, it's one of the things they eat. I mean, there have been, experts, quote, that say that's what's happening. But again, none of this is fucking real. I'm not saying disclosure isn't, but those things, I mean, I don't have any evidence of that, but maybe if they had evidence of that, I think that would be horrific. Like, what disclosure would be so terrifying that it would send you spiraling into drinking and therapy? Is what I would like to know. Ad Hacker says it's like the Truman Show on a universal scale. Right. That could do it. Where did it go? It says, I don't see if disclosure means aliens are real. It means that something beyond that. We need to know that is determine whether it would do that. Right. That's what I'm saying. It's not just aliens. It is some kind of reshift of the way we perceive experience. Denova says, do we live in the Matrix? I could see that. I could see that being, like we said, it's a simulation. But Controller Sport says, I want to meet an alien as much as the next guy. But come on, Jaffe. I'm not saying these are not my theories. I'm saying this is, the idea that humans are cattle for aliens is not some kind of thing I just cooked up. That is kind of marbled into the ufology culture. That's what they talk about. That's what they think about. So, and it's a theory that's been sort of brought out by people like David, not Grush, who's the guy who kind of looks like a lizard, like his face is pulled back. Mark
Zuckerberg?
No, it's not Bob. It might be Lazar, but it's one of those guys. And he's like, he saw a classified document in the 70s. And this was, he's talked about this in the 80s. It's on footage where he says the document that is classified that he saw said that we are containers. And the interviewer said, what do you mean containers? He says, that's just what the document said. And the interviewer said, containers for what? And he said, I guess like the soul or something. And the reason religion was created was to keep people from harming each other as much as possible to make sure that we didn't damage the souls inside the containers.
We have some callers, Jaffe.
All right. Steffi, I have to say, though, Steffi says if a human is so selfish to end their life because they aren't the only intelligent life in the universe, that's natural selection. I don't think that's this. No one is suggesting that the rate of ending it would go up just because, oh, no, we're not the smartest people. It's more of like your perception of what reality is just going to be shattered. All right. Seeger, what's going on? That is a loud inhale, Tech Protect. You got to mute when you do that. All right, what's up,
going
Seeger?
on, man? Wait, you guys hear me?
Yeah, hear you good.
Awesome. I just keep thinking, what if it's like They Live, and the Republicans are really just the aliens, and we've been falling for it our entire lives, and that's the truth.
I mean, I don't think it's going to be political like that. I know you're joking, but do I think though that, I mean, I really don't know. I don't have a dog in the fight like this other guy who just wrote, or maybe it was you who wrote. It's like, I want to be an alien as controller sports as much as the next guy. I do too.
I mean, same here personally, but
yeah, but I'm not going to.
If our whole life has been manipulated and it's because of that, it would have to be some level, like crazy level of manipulation.
That's right. And like Sargana says aliens are angels. That is also a theory that's been coming around a lot more lately as well. Tech Protect, you are the loudest motherfucker.
Is that me?
It is you. We heard the Coke can open.
Oh, it's Diet Pepsi. You're Coke. I'm Pepsi.
Diet Pepsi. What a traitor.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know where your mic is, but it's like every little sound. I feel like I'm a Daredevil, and I can just hear where everything is.
I'll turn stuff down. I have a theory.
Yes, go.
In my opinion, I think that if there was this big reveal, and what would cause people to like stress out so much they'd, sue Saudi. It's probably that there is already over a simulation, and that if there were aliens, that they are already so involved in like normal day-to-day life that the US or whatever government's going to say, hey, we think it could be anywhere from 10% of the people you interact with are aliens to 70%. It could be that, they took over the medical care system, and that you thought you had a kid, but actually that kid is another alien. Your family is not yours. Your friends are not yours. Your government employees are not yours. Your Uber driver for sure is an alien. That's why Trump's doing the whole ICE thing. That's a joke. That's probably where it's at.
I would think though, if it was going to cause mass suicides, I don't think it would be because it was a bad thing. Like in my mind, the majority of people would still want to live. So it'd probably have to be like a reward. Like, hey, they have to there's an existence outside of this plane.
Well, or it would be that none of this is real, and and ultimately all the things that you think about as, oh, this is life-ending stuff that just occurred to me is like, it doesn't matter. So
it would have to, like imagine, I've been married for 40 years. Right. And it turns out my wife's name was on the list of confirmed. This is an alien. The government confirms.
Or confirmed NPCs, right? We are in a simulation, and only 20% of us are actually simulated consciousness, and everyone else is a NPC that's just been programmed to run in the simulation. And so you could look at your family, and you're having dinner with your family of 5, and you're the only one that's actually real. I think that could trigger it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. All right, did we lose Dan? Dan, the cleaning man? All right. Seeger, anything else?
No, that's it. I just wanted.
All right.
For some reason, I was able to reference They Live, and that made me happy. Have a good night, man.
Understood, sir. You too. Stoner Joe drops.
By the way, you recommended that book to me last week. I think it's arriving next week. So
which book? Which book?
On the
Pima Chodron?
Catholic Church.
Oh yes. That the weird Catholic Church stories. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll let you know.
Let me know what you think.
What I think.
You should call in with your favorite one. Tell it to the audience.
Will do.
All right. Thanks, buddy. Stoner Joe drops super chat. Thanks, buddy. Says, so far Trump hasn't taken any action against me for possibly influencing his off attempts. This feels like the statement of the insane and more like self-promotion. Aliens. Stoner Joe, you know what I think. I think you're a very mentally distressed young man, sir. I love you're part of our community. I appreciate your generosity. We're here for you. but you need to get your ass into therapy as soon as fucking possible. But that said, though, I hope you are well. I hope life is treating you nicely, and I hope the world is treating you nicely too. Thank you, Stoner Joe. It's very kind, very courteous, very generous. Thanks, man. Alex says, Jaffe, please buy the 5090 tomorrow. It's the pre-order date. No, I have GeForce Now. I'm more than happy to wait until I can stream that shit. And hopefully it'll be when it launches. I don't know. Okay, the Game Boy I think let's do a test. Tech Protect. This is what the Game Boy wrote. Let's see if the guy's trolling. Here's what he says. He says that calling somebody an NPC is just like a meme, blah, blah, blah. No one's an NPC. I'm like, dude, do you really? We're talking about something totally different. We're not talking about the meme insult of NPCs. We're talking about how NPCs are used in video games, in simulations. And in that, if you discovered that you are in a simulation, and here's a great example. When you play an MMO, you and your friend group, right, or you go into a dungeon in that game, and let's say you and 12 people are all sharing the space online. You're all real people. But that dungeon is filled with NPCs that are not real. That's what we're talking about. We're not talking about the meme of like, you're just a fucking follower of sheep. We're talking about, the fact that we could be in a simulation, and if you discover that your family isn't real, it could lead to some really insane shit. Crimson Desert says Pompish. Thank you, buddy. Gears E-Day, Fable, Ninja Gaiden, Monster Hunter Wilds, and Turok, my most anticipated games announced. What are your top 5 games, Jaffe? Okay, let's do this. Let's assume for the moment that I don't get held to this, because there are plenty of games that are indie games that I've forgotten about, that I've seen announced and haven't come out yet, or games that I haven't even heard of yet. For example, there's a game that came out today, the demo of what is this thing called? It's Phantom Line, which is kind of like Stalker 2, not as ambitious, but it's got more of an X-Files flavor to it, and it's rough, but it's really cool. And if that gets itself in shape, I could see myself fucking loving that. But if you're talking about sort of announced stuff, I don't know. I mean, I would say Gears is probably up there. I'm going to guess that Mario Kart 9 is announced because we saw it. I'll say that. I think Ninja Gaiden 4 is probably up there. I think South of Midnight at the moment is probably up there. And I'm probably forgetting 50 of them, man. There's so many games. I don't know. I'm not a big Monster Hunter guy though, so that probably would not that would probably not be it for me. Okay. Jaffe, would you have sex with an alien if it looked kind of human? Sure. I mean, if it was attractive to me, sure, why not? Okay. Look at this, man. Look at this. I mean, this is crazy. This is crazy, and it's only going to get better. Look at that. Look at that. Right? I mean, you can tell if you get up close, but walking around, you especially put a hoodie on, no fucking way. Look at that. It's not Mission Impossible level yet, but we're getting there, boys. We're getting there. It's cool shit, man. That kind of looks real, right? That looks real, man. Anyway, I think so. All right. Let me put this up here. Okay. All right. Well, I want to start moving towards wrapping it up. Anybody want to have any last minute calls? This is the time. We're back tomorrow with normal shows. Now, again, depending on the news of the day, I was talking to Tech Protect, and we're like, I tell him, I said, sometimes it's hard when we don't have a lot of video game news. And he's like, just as long as you show up and talk about anything that's interesting to you in the chat, it beats not showing up just because there's no video game news. So hopefully you guys don't mind streams like this when they are necessary. Like today, there just wasn't that much to talk about in the game world, but I always love streaming and hanging out with you guys. Hopefully it works for you. Yes, there is a lunch with Jaffe Saturday, 9:45 in the morning. It's really a breakfast with Jaffe, but you know, it's coming up. But anyway, the point is I'll be back again tomorrow with 2 streams, whatever they are, we'll see. I'm going to wake up and scour the news with tech like we do. Alan says, why does it bother you if there's no game news? These streams are great. Well, it doesn't bother me. It's just that I know a lot of people come here because they want game news. And a lot of times I don't have that much to talk about in that world. Oh, I'm excited. I am excited for Royal Rumble, dude. I am super excited for Royal Rumble. Especially the women's. Have they announced yet what day the women's one is on? Is it Saturday or Sunday? Because I do play D&D now, at least for the foreseeable future, on Sundays. And I hope the men one is on Sunday because I want to watch it maybe with some members of the stream. But I only like the women's one. The men one's fine, but I'm not really all that interested in watching the men doing the wrestling. So, but I'm looking forward to that. Okay. Absolutely, Pompish. Always good to see you. Yeah, love the stream. Everybody give it a good. Well, did I talk about Herman Holst? I did. I mean, there's not really much to talk about. Right? I mean, what is there really to discuss? We don't really know anything other than what they've announced. What they've announced sounds, we don't know whether it was always planned to be something he would step down. It was always going to be like they're going to work together for a while and then this other guy was going to take over, or they were going to wait and make a decision between the two of them. And so we don't really, there's so much we don't know. All I can tell you is I have not been happy with a lot of Sony's output this generation. I don't know if you lay that at the feet of Herman Holst, if you lay that at the feet of Jim Ryan, if you lay that at both of their feet. I don't know if maybe there's another person responsible who just plays the game politically better. And they're the ones that we really should be, upset with. But all I know is I've not been thrilled with the output of Sony first party games this generation. And in that, maybe this change will bring something good. I don't have any real personal problems with Herman, but I don't tend to like the games his studio Guerrilla makes. I love them execution wise. They're gorgeous. They're beautiful. They're amazing products, but I just don't tend to think they're a great deal of fun. Although the fighting the dinosaur combat is awesome in Horizon. I will give it that. So Stoner Joe, thank you. He says, I'm doing gosh darn well if I'm a millionaire social media star slightly responsible for the Dark Knight Rises shooting. Who cares what I do if the rest of my life is paid for twice over? I don't understand. Are you saying you're a millionaire social media star? If you are, do you go by another name other than Stoner Joe that we would know? Because you're famous in my eyes, baby. But I don't know, what? I don't know. Does anybody else know who Stoner Joe is?
No, but if he is a millionaire, pay for my streaming computer so I can help Jaffe. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, come on.
You did say just now that they were doing lunch on Saturday, but our posts say Friday. Do we switch days or are we?
Oh yeah, yes. Well, okay. So Friday, tomorrow is normal streaming. Friday is breakfast. Wait, Friday's breakfast at 9:45.
Yeah, Friday was the lunch with Jaffe, but it's at like the morning.
Yes, Friday is 9:45 in the morning. Sorry, and then Moriarty's show is at 11. That's not streaming. That's going to be Constellation, and then I will be on what's called Lolcal Tech with Review Tech and Jay, I think his name is. That will be 5:00 coming up Friday. And then we'll be looking at some of the wrestling if we can get it running in the Discord, if we can. If it's not illegal, come this Saturday and whatnot. So, yeah. So yeah, I got the date wrong. Thank you for that, Tech Protect. All right. Serious. Oh, is she saying something?
Oh, she wants ketchup. We're eating Chick-fil-A, sponsored by Chick-fil-A. Let's get that sponsorship.
No. Sarah and Jaffe.
Your dad's yelling at you.
Why?
Why?
Because that company gives, I mean, sure, life, you're an adult, do what you want, but they give their profits to the fucking
They give their money to
pray the gay away people.
Pray the gay away people.
I fucking forgot.
Oh,
Yeah,
she said she forgot.
All right, let's bring Dan on. Dan, it's Jaffe. What's going on, bud?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, so
You don't have to call me that.
First of all, I was very drunk a couple of months ago on your stream, and I'm here again.
Okay.
There's clearly a lag between the stream that I'm watching. Shit. Okay, now I'm on the spot. I didn't expect to be there.
Are you drunk again?
Absolutely plastered. It's 5:46 here in Belgium. Cheers.
Okay, you too.
It was just about the other conversation. Have you ever heard of Nick Bostrom?
Nick Bostrom?
Yeah. He's one of these guys, again, he was on Rogan and Lex Friedman and all, and he said that if humans attained the technology to be able to create these simulations, then we would have made plenty of them, which means that technically, from a statistical point of view, there are more chances that we are actually in a simulation than in a real world.
Right. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it's almost it's hard to believe anything other than that, right? When you look at, you know, how realistic a lot of these things are looking and getting. Let me show you something real quick. Let me see if I can bring it up. This guy, I follow him. He works in video games, but he's been posting a lot of these insanely realistic. Hey, Tech, can I bring my screen up without the intro? Okay, thank you, Tech. So he's been putting up a lot of these things that he's making in real time. This is one of his latest, right? And so this is not CG, but this is not rendered or pre-rendered. This is real time. And so it doesn't take that much to imagine how far away are we from this and then this procedurally generated. And I mean, so it makes all the sense in the world. Simulation theory is the only thing I've ever heard that actually kind of makes some sense. I'm not saying that's what's happening. I'm a believer, but why would we not? Like, and as somebody who makes games or made games and plays lots of games, it's all about the immersion. And so when you know that's one of the reasons I think Elden Ring and Bloodborne and stuff are so successful, is that there is that tension and value of life, because you don't want to die because there's a consequence, right? If we were to make a real simulation, the first thing we'd try to solve is don't let the people know they're in a simulation, because that's not really a simulation at that point. So it wouldn't surprise me at all. It would not surprise me at all.
I believe that Nick Bostrom's idea was who says that we're not actually the AIs within that simulation. That
Absolutely, we might be. I mean, the assumption would be, and that kind of does track with how I think of my own consciousness anyway, which is and even free will, right? I have more of a sense that I'm here and there is an I, but I'm not always the same I. You know, there's a consistency to self, but it's very fragile and it's very it shifts often. I think we lost Dan. Oh, he's there. And so, yeah. And so, if somebody were to say, well, you have free will in the sense that as long as you kind of stay on the path of the simulation, we want to see what you're going to do. But you're, you know, there's a lot of things. And again, part of this is psychology only, where you attribute these, you know, aspects to life that aren't really there. But a lot of times it's very easy to look at your life and say, this feels like it's written, right? This couldn't have gone any better. But I also am, you know, aware enough to recognize that could all just be, that's what you do when you connect the dots looking back, and you present it to yourself in such a way, but that's not really the way it was. So
Captain Hindsight.
Yes, it is the world. It's the best puzzle I've ever come across, and it drives me crazy. Is it a selfish view, thinking everything revolves around you, says Toby? No, I don't think that's what we're saying. I don't think everything revolves.
I believe that's solipsistic is the word. Solipsistic, where everything revolves around yourself. that you might be the only person, because I think as Descartes said, I think, therefore I am, but you can't tell that other people think.
No.
So therefore you don't know if they are, It's
that's absolutely right. And just because
super fucked up.
just because I think I have an awareness doesn't mean other people don't. I'm just, so.
Yeah.
All right, Dan, thank you, bud. I appreciate it.
Speaking of that, can I say one last thing?
Yes.
I'm a huge Sacred Symbols listener. I just actually listened yesterday to the last one you did with Colin. The people who are hating on you, please, come on. The only thing that I can say is, again, I live in Belgium. And last time I spoke with you, you said you wanted to come live here. And I just wanted to say, I don't have a side, but whatever you think of your side, the other side, they feel the same way about how they think. So they might be, but if you understand, but like maybe give them a chance. Sometimes they can actually be cool enough people. I don't know. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just saying, from an outsider's point of view, we look at you, the Saints, not you, Jaffe, and we really want you guys to get along at some point. Someone has to.
Oh, you mean in America?
Yeah, essentially, yes. That's what I meant.
You guys need to sort of then airdrop in education over here, because the biggest problem is we're so manipulated and we're so beholden to a lot of this media bullshit, and a lot of us think we know and other ones don't even think about it, and some of us think we know but we don't, and no one's really right about it, and we're all at each other's throats, and people are making a lot of money off it. So I don't know what it's going to take.
That's very interesting. The people making all the money off of it. That's very interesting and something to think about. I have a quote. I can't find it now. Black dude from like 1920 something said, I don't have the exact quote, but it was about, it's better to have this division because there's a lot of people who can make money and profit off of it than to actually solve the problems.
Oh, of course.
And he was coming from the victim side. Obviously, 1930s, Black Americans, they were not in a great position. And he actually said that. I think Booker T. Williams, I want to say.
Okay,
I might be wrong.
I'm not sure
But
who
anyway.
said it, but it's absolutely, in my opinion,
Again,
I agree with it.
lots of wine tonight. It was a pleasure to speak with you. I know you don't agree from last time, but I'm twisted metal.
I am,
always.
look, man, all I can tell you is the future is amazing. The fact that you're calling in from Japan is nuts, that we're talking live that far
Belgium.
away. That's what I said, Japan. All right, see you, buddy. All right, thank you, Dan. Okay, there you go, fellas. I think we're going to wrap it up. Tony, you good? Anything else we got to hit?
No, we're solid. We plugged the stream for Friday. We'll have more information in the Discord, and we'll talk about it again tomorrow.
Do we have any news on the Killing Antidote interview or not yet?
I will have a conversation with the lead translator for North America, and then we are waiting for a response on Twitter.
Okay, cool. All right, super chats. Thank you, members. Thank you, membership gifts. Thank you. Consider. Here you are. Consider a membership. Consider liking the show, subscribing to the show, supporting the show. I might play games tonight. If I do, I'll stream them. If not, I'll see you guys tomorrow in the morning at around 10:30. Fuck it. Let's commit to 10:30. People said to me earlier, they said, we want a schedule. We want consistency. All right, fuck you. 10:30. Be there. Shut the fuck up. 10:30 tomorrow. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Tony. And I will talk to you guys the next time. Bye, everybody. Buddy. Santa Buddy. It's a different story, but I'll tell that story in the future.